G'day everyone. Hang on. Oh shit.
Great start.
Oh god.
What's
Hang
that?
on. No, sorry. Got to warn everyone, if you're watching the show and in chat, make sure you got on mute. There's going to be sort of feedback, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome everyone for this special edition of, I don't know what you call it. I used to call my shows KISS, Keep It Simple, Stupid. What do I call it? We shall not be silent. I've got some special guests, or everyone's special on this show. A couple of first timers. I'm going to introduce you to them one at a time. For those in chat, forgive me if I don't sort of acknowledge any of your comments, because I don't really have time to look at them. I'll look at them later on. But anyway, feel free to ask any questions to any of the panelists, and if they want to read the comments out, that's fine. So let's just start off with, excuse me.
James Little.
I'll start off with the rabble first. Robbo Max, how are you, son?
I'm doing fine, PK. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Next off the list, we got a gruesome twosome here from Melbourne. Most of you know about these two guys, great guys. I've caught up with them many a time. They're doing a joint show tonight because one of them seems to have trouble on these hangouts.
One's a technical retard, that's all.
They're like the terrible twins. They've got the best growth of beard, as you want to call it. You want to see it? Introduce one at a time. Mad Pyman, how are you?
Good, Pete. Yourself, mate?
All right, mate. First timer, I think.
I'm a virgin. Be gentle, mate. I'm a virgin.
You're a virgin as well. And there's Woodrow. You've been on before, Woodrow, I think, once?
Yeah, I've been on before, I think. Yeah.
So you're not a virgin. Good to see. So, what are you doing there at the moment? What sort of beer are you having? What are you drinking?
What am I having? I'm having one of those.
Oh,
Can't see.
Bogues. James Bogues Premium.
Okay.
Best Tasmanian beer ever.
I'm on the car.
Okay, we'll get back to you guys in a minute. Now, all the way from Australia to Scotland to Australia, back to Scotland, we have Avalon.
Australia, Scotland.
G'day, guys. How's it all going?
Hey.
Mate.
Nice to be here.
First timer. Welcome, Avalon.
Thanks very much, PK. Thank you.
Pleasure to have you on. And last but not least, it is an absolute privilege and an honour for me to have this person on. I'm nearly starting to cry again. Fuck.
Oh, don't.
This person has stuck by me virtually from day one when I started YouTube. We've had a few little tiffs in between, but that's just normal. But I can honestly say she's been, what do I say, my strength from day one. She's supported me, and I just love her to death. I just want to welcome on the show Jackie Noise, or as a channel, Jam Noise 72. How are you, Jackie?
I'm really good, Pete. Thank you for inviting me. And I am a podcast virgin, so this is my first ever podcast. So just bear with me. I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm really proud to be taking part in this because, well, I know we'll be discussing the film, but great stuff, Pete. And we've known each other for over 8 years now. Quite a while.
Jeez, yeah, 8. Something like 8. Yeah. I should have done this before in the green room, as we call it. What I want you to do, Jackie, right now, is I'm going to introduce you again, and I want you to answer back in an Aussie accent, okay?
Okay.
Hello, Jackie Noise. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Pete. And I know I've got quite a few of my and my brother's here today from Australia. I've got a few of you. I can see the flag and everything. So it's great to be here. And thanks for inviting me, guys. Fantastic stuff. Great.
Yeah, beauty, Sheila. No
Yeah,
worries.
beauty, man.
Yeah, get on your love. Get on your love.
Awesome. If you haven't seen it, I haven't got many videos on my YouTube channel. I'll get to that in a second, but I uploaded one the other week, and I think I call it my favourite YouTube video of all time. And it's actually Jackie doing 17 accents.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I put my play, I just love hearing it. It's just absolutely fantastic the way she does it. So if you haven't heard it, either go to her channel or I've mirrored it on my PKFAQ channel, and you'll see what an amazing talent she is. Not only is she beautiful, she's an amazing person, very intelligent. And anyway, enough of you, Jack. What are we going to talk about?
PK, before you start, you told me Max and Vinny were going to be on. Did they not make it?
Max? Who's Max?
Oh, gosh. Matt, no way.
The expert in Christchurch.
All right. Now that you mentioned, I want to show you guys something.
He's the only one that's done a frame-by-frame analysis.
Yeah,
Hang on.
He's done a 65,000 frame analysis, mate.
It's the tiniest footage he's used. Peas is so clear.
but he only uses 3 frames.
All right, we'll get that guy in a second. I just want to show you something. If you can see this,
Yeah.
I have got here. Is it going to show up on the cam?
He said he's
Yeah.
great.
Matt Sargent.
I have got 26 DVDs, all Max Egan. I can go through it all.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 years, all his stuff. You know what I'm going to do with it? If it was toilet paper, I'd wipe my ass, but I'm going to put them in all his stuff in this fucking bag, and that's going to go away with the garbage.
Is that all he showed?
Go for garbage on Monday, Tuesday morning, all right? Fuck you.
Don't pollute the tip side, mate.
Someone's echoing.
Robbo, mute his mic. Robbo, can you mute your mic?
I think someone's got the show on that's echoing. Or
I
something.
don't think it's me. It's going on. Somebody else.
Mute his
Pressing to their microphone.
Guess what? It was me. And they were telling people,
Okay.
oh, fuck. Sorry, I apologise. Anyway,
Just this time.
I got that off my chest. 26. I honestly, there's like 3-4 hours on each of his bullshit over the 6-7 years I followed this fucking piece of shit. And I don't swear on my shows, or I don't say the dirty word, the C word, but
You go.
I could call
Oh,
him something.
brilliant.
Hey,
All right.
you go.
That's brilliant.
Max is here.
You like that caricature of Max?
I'll do the voice. Hello, folks.
All right.
Welcome
Leave it
back
with
to Surviving the Matrix. New Zealand shooting. CGI, New Zealand shooting.
I'm Max Egan.
That's brilliant.
That's him.
Who drew that?
I did.
That's really good.
That's magnificent.
Yeah, it's a good one, Woodrow.
Yeah. Got the nose.
You needed to colour the nose a bit more red, though.
Well, red enough. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, when I add to it, he's going to have one of those glowing noses.
Honk, honk.
All right, guys. Now we start on this guy. I just want to talk about it quickly. Max Egan. It's not his real name. Anyone that pretends to be a big truther and doesn't give their real name, it has to be sus. I don't hide my name. No, none of you guys hide your names.
Right, I do.
Dude. But I'm not a trooper. Hey,
Anyway, this guy,
Logan.
Logan.
Smoking.
Oh, right.
I'm smoking. Who's smoking? I'm smoking.
I'm back.
Oh, Smogan. How's it going?
Oh, wow. Thank
Good, thanks. How are you guys?
Yeah, good to
Great.
see you smoking.
You too. Av?
Whoop. Snap.
Yeah. Thanks for interrupting, mate.
Hi,
Sorry.
smoking. I've never met you before.
Hi, Jackie.
Hey.
Hey, shut up, smoking. This show, it's my show, not yours.
Sorry, continue. Sorry.
I'm only joking, mate. Good to see you. It only took you 1 hour. I explained to you an hour ago that the show was
10
starting.
minutes ago, mate. I found out 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, all right.
He's here now.
All right, all right. I don't want this to go for too long because there's a footy game going on and it's more important than this shit. Max fucking Egan,
Oh,
I hope you're watching this. I admired you for fucking years. I actually had 4 or 5 interviews with you. I called you one of the greatest men of all time. I nominated you for Australian of the Year. Fucking hell was I fooled. I'm going to tell you a few things about this guy. Where I thought he was sus. Going back, I don't know, was it a year and a half ago? He had this bust up with Ken O'Keefe. You all know that guy?
Yeah.
And I sort of obviously jumped on Egan's side, not knowing the real story. Apparently, they both went to Gaza together. And he told me how Ken O'Keefe did fuck all, didn't do anything. Egan did all the work there. And the story goes that, I don't know, in Gaza, they got these tunnels. The Palestinians have got these tunnels. Well, I figured out that this guy, I'm not 100% about this, but I think he's an Israeli agent, to be honest. I think he got in there to show, to spy on these tunnels that the Palestinians have and give the info to the Israelis. I don't think he's got any feelings for the Palestinians. It's all a setup. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So he had this bust up with Ken O'Keefe. And you know what he told me? Because we had many conversations on Skype. He told me that he thinks Ken O'Keefe was a transgender. He used to walk away from him. He walked away like a woman. And I thought, fucking what? If you see Ken O'Keefe.
I mean, who was telling you that, PK?
Yeah, he ran like a woman or something, didn't he?
Yeah. So anyway,
He
that's
was
when
a demigod or someone.
Where'd you hear
Sorry?
that, PK?
Max Egan told me that Ken O'Keefe was a transgender because the way he walked.
You're sure it wasn't someone else?
I reckon my girlfriend transgender.
Anyway, let's get the story.
Robbo, was it someone else or was it Max?
I think, what's his name, said that as well.
Ollie. Yeah.
Ollie Demigod.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Steve mentioned
What happened? He actually invited me over to visit him early last year. I knocked it back, thank fuck. Because when I had my prostate cancer, he pretended he was going to help me and all this shit, but it turned out he never did. Turned out he was overseas and he couldn't get any cannabis oil for me. It was all bullshit. I firmly believe that this guy was an ex-drug addict, alcoholic, and he was set up by the government to be a shill, as they say. And Christchurch was the big one with Vinnie Eastwood in New Zealand. So, because as you know, the people they get, the Gargasoluses, the what have you, they're all ex-criminals that they get to do their acting, to do their part, and they get rewarded for not doing time for what they do. Because I tell you what, this guy, I'll read these out. In his Skype typing, his English is putrid, absolutely putrid. And when you look at the quality of his videos, they're amazing. And I'm telling you, he isn't making those videos. He is getting help big time from outside people. All his stuff is from outside people, and I firmly believe that. You cannot believe the way this guy types. His punctuality and English is absolutely pathetic. So let's just go back to about when was Vegas, guys? Year and a half. I don't know.
First of October 2017.
Robbo knows.
That
Yeah.
reminds me. 1:38
Wow,
plus-
get him, Robbo. Bloody hell.
10 or 5 p.m.
10:05 p.m.
Wow.
I bet he.
What time was it, Robbo? What time?
So
What was that?
When's your wife's birthday, Robbo?
Don't ask me that.
When's your anniversary? You don't know.
all right, guys. Let's let it go. As you know, Max Egan, the 26 DVDs I threw out, all these videos are just him talking about, as you know, he repeats himself. Never once in all these years does he talk about hoaxes or anything like that. A bit like David Icke and you know, Alex Jones. Come Las Vegas, all of a sudden, he's calling out that it was a real event and people got shot. And I thought, fucking what? You know, what's this guy on about? Every time I sent him a video, a 138 video, wasn't interested. I said, no, sorry. It was real. People got shot. Then he came up with this bullshit story to me that he was in California, I think, at the time, 3 hours from the event.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He was staying with some guy, and he tells me that this guy's brother and his girlfriend or fiance were at the concert, and she was shot and injured by supposed whatever his name was. I said, oh really? You know? Well, how about you fucking go out and visit her, film it, and show us the injuries, and show that this woman's fucking, you know, no, it never happened. And then what I said to him was, I want you to come on a podcast to debate. Not me. I won't even say a word. Debate Robbo, Max, and 138, who were heavily involved in this shit. You know what his comeback was? No, I'm not going to do it because all you're going to do is insult me. No,
Right.
when have I ever insulted you? Never, you know? So, virtually from that day on, I said, fuck you, I don't want to know about you. So, I deleted him from Skype, okay? And I'm going to read this out. When New Zealand happened, all of a sudden, I was shocked. This guy, all of a sudden, is a researcher on hoaxes. Fucking what? You know? And as you guys know, he's got these 4 points he debated with Fetzer, which poor Jim, you know, he should have slaughtered him. But he just, you know, he wasn't too sure about himself. One of the things was the
Oh, that's even.
windscreen bullshit with the bullet hole. And he came up with some figure. This was frame number 6,310. What the fuck is that shit?
That's it.
All to make out to his 150,000 subscribers who think he's the Messiah, that he went through it frame by frame by frame. But fuck you, Egan, whatever your name is, Dickie. His name's Dickie something. That's another thing I'll mention in a second. If you're listening to this or get hold of this, fucking debate me. Debate me. As you guys know, I've just spent the last 2 months busting the arse off making a 12-hour video, which could have been 20 hours, blowing this shit up the piece because it's the biggest fucking phony heap of shit since Boston.
Total crap.
That I've ever seen in my life.
You go through it frame by frame and there's 1,000 things wrong with this shit. You know, but anyway, if you've got the balls, Egan, whatever your name is, I'll debate you anytime, anywhere, except on fucking Vinny Eastwood show. Because he's a piece of shit like you. I just want to mention about his name being Dickie. This goes about 18 months ago to you. I had a comment on one of my videos from some person. He said something about, he mentioned his name, Dickie someone, I can't remember what it was. Where's the $50,000 you owe me for that drug deal or something? Oh, what? And I mentioned this to him, and he says, oh, yeah, don't worry about it, you know. And I just, yeah, don't worry about it, because But now I come to think of it, well, it's fucking, no one's going to make a comment like that unless it was real. But this guy, it's not research that I've done on him. It's just my opinion. But I know fully well this guy's no good. If any of you 150,000 subs that are sub to this guy, get off him. He is no good.
Have any of you guys actually ever met him? Has anyone ever met him?
All right, Jackie, you have met him. Your opinion of this guy.
I didn't. I've met Max when he came to London. I did go and meet him with one of my friends, and I just thought he was just so fake. He was like a walking show. He was just repeating himself and what he was saying in the show. And there was one part he was sitting with us and telling us how that the English money is really strong. It's made of hemp. And he took one of my £10 notes and tore it in half. And it was like, what? It was ridiculous. And he was just a living, you know what he's like on his show? He was just like that in real life, just like a show. And there was no real personality there. He was just so fake.
And this was about 5-6 years ago.
I was disappointed. When I met him, I was disappointed.
He's a trained robot.
Trained robot.
He tore my £10 in half.
All right. I'm going to read.
PK, I've met him as well.
Have you?
Well, he told me he had. That's how deluded he is.
How's that, Robbo? Was that in a comment?
Yeah, that was in a comment about a month and a half ago. He told me I'd met him. Let's see, fuck, you've never met me, pal.
That was after you asked him a page-and-a-half question and he told you to just fuck off.
Yeah, I asked him a simple question and he told me to fuck off.
One big ego. He's just one big ego now. I don't think he's an agent or anything like that. I think he's got all these subs. They've probably given him all these subs, and now he's just so ego-based, and he's trying to sit on the fence. That's why he's saying this is people got killed.
Right,
Because he's sitting on the fence trying to hold on to those new subs.
I believe Christchurch kicked him into action. He was definitely planned for that position.
Hey, Pies.
That was meant for him. That was his role.
Yeah.
Pies, can you attach that microphone to your shirt? I can't hear you.
Can't hear me. Sorry. I was just saying, I think that, I believe what PK is saying. I think he was into the position that he had, and he gained the following that he had over the years, just Christchurch. I think he was put in for that role. I believe it.
He got those subs really quickly, guys. He's on 170 now. And he doesn't get many views. If you've got that many subs, you should be getting at least, 70, 80, maybe 100,000 views. He doesn't.
It's always that way, General. It's always that way.
All right,
That's how
guys.
you can see it's not real. That's how you can tell it's not real.
It's always big channels.
Guys, do you all know Madison Star Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know the name yet?
I'm going to read out. I spoke to her on Facebook not long ago.
Backing him
She
big
had a-
time for that conference.
She had a conference sometime, I don't know, was it end of last year? She invited him over. I think she paid his airfare over. And this is before I had this bust up. This is before New Zealand, all right? This is what she said to me. He's an asshole. He was a monster at my conference. I've never seen anything like it. For one night, I paid for a hotel room for him for the rest of the time. But she did mention she gave him $1,000 to get out of the house or something.
Get out of here. Get out.
Get out, boy.
He is a bad person. He's a bad person. I could personally attest to that. He never said thank you once. Never showed appreciation or was humble. Pranced around here like he was a celebrity.
Yeah.
Okay? And she is a lovely woman who wouldn't say bad things about anyone.
Yeah, you better believe that. She's real, mate. She's a real person, 100%.
All right? Now listen to this, guys. When he made his first video, which he said was removed, which is a lot of bullshit, That's just to make out like he's
No,
he's
he took that down himself, mate.
He removed it himself.
Yeah,
he
he
removed
did.
it.
took that down himself.
Yeah, he never got
Yeah.
He never,
you know what he said? Vinny Eastwood told me if I get another strike, I won't be able to make videos.
Yeah.
Like he had to fucking get Vinny Eastwood to tell him that. How long's he been on YouTube?
Oh, he's a newcomer to
yeah,
YouTube.
he's just new.
He's a
only new.
newcomer.
He hasn't been here long. No one knows who he is. You know, got no excuse.
And he lied about Vinny Eastwood's sister's friend dying, and I really pulled him up on that. I said, Max, are you lying? You need to tell me the truth. I kept going on in the comments,
Yeah.
and he said Vinny Eastwood's sister's friend died.
That's right.
No,
And
he
that didn't happen.
He misinterpreted what Vinny said.
He didn't read the right script. He got the wrong script.
Yeah.
Guys, like it's actually I can see him on Skype with green lights on. So he, I don't know. I don't think this guy does anything else. This must be all his life. He obviously gets paid well for it. Keeps him out of prison. But I made a comment on his video, right? Whichever one it was. I virtually called him a shill, and that just goes back a year ago. He actually asked me, "Do you think I'm a shill?" And I didn't say yes. I should have said, but check this out. I deleted him from Skype, okay, and I thought that was the end on Skype. But apparently, it doesn't matter if you delete someone; they can still send you a message. Out of the blue, this is March the 23rd. So that's like 8 days after. I'm going to read this out. Dear PK, if you are going to accuse me of being a shill, then by all means, please grace me with your infallible wisdom and explain how. By saying this was a government-run operation with a trained assassin, and real victims, is in any way supporting the official government narrative. Because I can very easily explain exactly how claiming it was all fake and CGI and accusing anyone who says different of being a shill supports their agenda precisely. You first, and don't give me the anybody can see Emperor's New Clothes version. Spit out your cold hard evidence. I replied, fuck off, shill. I worked you out when you said people died in Vegas. You were too gutless to debate that with two other guys who would have slaughtered you. This New Zealand shit confirms you are a shill. He comes back. That's not very good evidence to support your claims. Got anything else? Then I said, like I said, wait till I post my video. You will hang your head in fucking shame because knowing your style, you will never admit you are wrong no matter what. So he comes back. So it's full on Emperor's New Clothes stuff for you then. Huh? Complete tunnel vision. But get this one, get this. You ready for this, guys? You work for the cops, right?
What a clown.
Brilliant.
Absolute
So-
clown.
Senior
You
son.
pig, okay.
I replied, I just happened to be talking to Jackie and Amanda, and they are saying you are the most horrible man they have ever met. Goodbye, Jill. I virtually said goodbye there. Then he goes, LOL. That's why you are putting out all this shit and make that media storm with your hate calls, isn't it? You are a cop, aren't you? What he's saying there is that I staged Burke Street, I staged my arrest, I staged everything about Burke Street, and I'm part of the fucking people who, he believes that Burke Street was real, by the way, but yeah, I'm a cop. Anyway.
Burke Street was real, wasn't it? Smoking, flying baby.
Okay. 100. And PK's a transgender. Remember that? He's got that tranny cop.
Peters, mate.
In the Burke Street suit, guys, let me finish. Then I posted what Amanda said. Then he goes, oh, Amanda from Virginia, with the question mark. Whoa, you actually met her. She is possibly the most insecure and abrasive woman I have ever met.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would expect that from her. But this is how bad his English is. He says, yeah, I would expect that from her, comma, he is a hard case. He is a hard case, talking to Amanda. But listen, it gets better. Goodbye, Pete. What do you think follows Goodbye, Pete? I know you are a cop. Anyway, it's nearly finished, guys. Then I said, I'm a cop. Ha, ha, ha. That's your research, is it? As good as your research you do, you fucking moron. Then he goes, well, LOLO. It's sure better than what you just posted to back up your fake claims. Goodbye. Then I said, at least the government doesn't pay me for gallivanting around the world. And his last message ever to me was, LOL, lame, me either.
Hey, Pete, that's what I asked him. I asked him, how do you manage to travel around the world and stay at all these motels and all that? Do you know what he grow up?
And look, he's got this place supposedly in Byron Bay or whatever. It doesn't work. He says he never gets social money. Where does he get income to pay all his bills or survive? We know now.
Donations. I don't listen. It's donations. Did you see that video I made of him? His impression. I did an impression of Max here, and on there he's just asking for donations. The next show that he made, he didn't ask for any donations. It was hilarious.
You do Max better than Max does, mate.
Sorry, what?
You do Max better than he does.
Yeah, but the impression, guys, did you notice the impression I did of him? The next video he made was a recording of him talking to some guy about 5G, and then the next one he did that was live. He didn't ask for donations. It was hilarious. So I found that very telling. And he had trouble saying in la cash. So,
he loved cash.
in la cash.
I'll just finish off, guys. I know I don't. I'll say me a little bit. I wasn't going to mention this. Fuck it. We all know who he is, or most of us. He's got a channel on YouTube. I don't want to publicise it because he's got like 800 subs compared to my lousy 300. But he's got a channel called We Are Shit Melbourne, or it's actually We Are Change Melbourne. The guy's name is Jeff O'Toole, but it's more like O'Toole. He hung around us guys at the Jimmy Jackson turns that I organised. He's a bozo. He's a fucking bonehead, and I thought that from the start. But the thing about this guy, he always tried to use me.
He's fucking pissing himself.
Well, I'll give you one thing. Every time I went to see the Jimmy Gargasolis court fucking bullshit, at least, I don't know, 6, 8 times, he was virtually there most times, and I had to sit next to him. It was just me and him in the pubic gallery. And half the time I had to, he was getting all excited. I says, mate, God, it's only fucking bullshit. Oh, sorry, you know. But anyway, he interviewed me outside a few times, and it was a big rap. It was a big rap of my work and shit. So cut it short. About 4 weeks ago, whatever, he said, because I had him on Facebook, right? I'm going to do an interview with Max Egan. Oh, I've got to read this out to you guys. And let me read it out.
When you touched on him when he said he was from We Are Change, they're like one of them 80% through fucking websites. Even the guy, the main guy that started, he's interviewed like
Luke.
He's interviewed everyone.
He's got nothing to do with We Are Change. It's just a name that he's used to get views and shit.
Yeah, that's
Publicity.
Yeah, he's interviewed David Icke before.
He's a publicity whore.
He's a public figure.
He tried to bring it to Australia, it just didn't work. I think he had 150 subs. I think it got through.
All right, guys, I'm just going to finish up. This is the Facebook conversation with this guy.
Yeah.
It goes. I just finished it. Shut up, Brian. I just finished an interview with Max Egan. Been busy.
Okay. Right.
What are you saying?
Don't you?
Robbo, shut up.
Get out of the kitchen, Robbo.
Sorry.
All right, listen. All right, he's just made an interview with Max Egan. All right, I've got a lot of C words here, but I'll abbreviate it. I said to him, why would you interview that spell out C? I want to piss on him. He is giving everyone a bad name. I've spoken to people who have met, and they all say he's a disgusting C. Don't fall for his smooth talk. Then he comes up with this shit. Oh, the viewers might enjoy it. I appreciate anyone trying to get the truth out. He mentioned you two, meaning me and him, have differences. It all goes back to freedom of speech, even if you agree to disagree. Then a few days went past. the video came on YouTube, and I watched it with his interview with fucking Egan. 55 minutes. I watched it, thinking, oh, this guy said something about me because he said that he mentioned me in the podcast or whatever. I said, you made me waste an hour of my life listening to that idiot Egan. Why did you say he mentioned me when he didn't? So he goes, nobody was forcing you. He said a couple of things that never made it to air for obvious reasons. I said, why was it obvious? I wanted to hear what that C said about me. Why did you question him why he thinks I'm a cop? The guy's a fucking idiot. Then he goes, I wasn't going to publish anything negative about others. That's exactly what the government wants. They want us all distracted and not focusing on the real threat. Don't let anyone else's comments upset you, PK. Then I said, so what did the C say? I haven't even made a video on New Zealand yet, so he can't claim I said anything. I bet the C said some shit about CGI. He is the only person talking CGI, and he is claiming others are saying it was all CGI. No one has fucking said that. That's why he's a disinfo agent.
Yeah.
He started.
No one fucking mentioned anything about CGI on that fucking bullshit.
Let me finish. You could go on for ages. Then he comes up with his pussy stuff again. It's valuable to have a few different versions of the truth out there as opposed to none. Cannot afford to let things get personal. Rarely will people agree on every single topic. We must keep focused on the bigger picture and the task at hand. Then I said, don't fuck me around, Jeff. The guy is a C. He was my hero once, and now I know what he is truly like. Many people have confirmed this who have met him. I don't like you or him or anyone else talking behind my back. Please tell me now what he said about me. It's obviously not nice as you edited it out. I'm sure everyone would have liked to hear what he said. I waited next day. I'm waiting, Jeff. Tell me what he said about me or I'll delete you. I waited another day. Well, that's it. If you want to be on Egan's side, you can fuck off and don't ever contact me again. Bye. That was it. So what happened? This fucking idiot 2 weeks later on his two shitty channels has made videos. PK exposed as a COINTEL agent, fake truther, what was the other thing? Shill or whatever.
Shill.
Cop.
You know, and all he showed was fucking Egan, the bit that he cut out, saying the first words Egan said, oh, PK calls everything a hoax. And then he said something like, oh, he made hate calls to victims in Brook Street, you know. And fucking idiot, fucking O'Phil has followed this, and he's put in the what's the name description that I made hate calls to truthers, hate calls, and all you guys know you made comments to him. You never replied to any of them.
Stop sending me hate speech, mate. No more hate mail. I can't take anymore.
Hate mail. I'm sending hate mail to truthers. So that's it. I've got that off my chest. It saves me making a fucking video. I don't give a fuck. The guy's a bozo. He's calling you blokes out to be idiots and shills as well, and that don't do research and shit.
That's right. No original content.
I'm taking it as a compliment.
I think he's got a hard on to fucking manage to get a fucking interview with Max Egan. I think that's what's happened. He's just got a hard on and just ditched everyone and went for it.
He ended up getting more subscribers, and the most important thing, $200 in donations.
200, woohoo!
Woodrow, can you read his comment out, please? Woodrow, you got the comment that he sent you, please?
Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, or if you got it by memory, just basically what he said in Facebook to you.
You were showing me before.
Hang on. I'll have to find it. Keep talking.
Oh.
Well, I'll chip my tuppence worth in because Woodrow did a video from Young and Jackson's once where he got everybody to say hello to me. Apart from you, PK, you told me to fuck off, but everybody said hello. But he was there. And so I didn't know who he was. So afterwards, I mirrored Woodrow's video and said, thanks, guys, or something like that. And I put everybody's channel in the description. And I found out who his channel was, and I put it in the description as well. And it was funny because somebody came back and commented, what are you promoting him for? So I'm not promoting him. I'm just acknowledging him. He said hello, like, so I'm just listing all the channels' names. So when he put that video up with you and Max, I just asked him questions, and he never answered one fucking question. Now, it was all polite questions to him. You know, where did you check any of this out first before you put it up? Didn't answer fuck all. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck him.
You're a fucking pussy.
And I asked Max as well about the proof of you being where was the hate mail? What's this hate mail you sent? I think Robbo, you asked as well. He just ignored us.
Yeah, correct.
Totally ignored us. I was going, where's your proof? You can't say that. Stop lying, Max. And he just didn't reply.
Oh, and then after that, he started he deleted my comments. My comments were deleted.
That's it, yeah.
So
I made a phone call to the hospital, as you all know, checking out this fake, fraud, fucking piece of shit that we've never
Beach
seen.
Wheel.
Street. I don't want to mention names. I've got a 12-month fucking intervention order. Someone that probably doesn't even fucking exist.
Fucking
And I tried again, and by God, I've changed things. But anyway, that's all gone through. But that's not hate mail. That's not hate mail. That's fucking proving that this fucking piece of shit was never hit by any car, was never fucking in hospital. You know. Anyway, you're right.
We know he's a piece of shit. Just you should get onto the points that you proved in your 12-hour documentary, Pico. Get onto that.
yeah.
He should watch that. If he doesn't watch it and comment on it, then we know something's going on. And Vinny Eastwood as well. Why hasn't Vinny seen the video? You're doing all these reports on it. You're in this. You haven't even got the fucking balls to watch the video. You're commenting on this thing that's happened. How? How can you do that? You've not even seen it. It's ridiculous. And then he got paid to go to Christchurch. Who paid Vinny Eastwood to go to Christchurch? They found out what time he was getting there. There were people waiting there to talk to him. It was such a setup. It's ridiculous.
The stackers in place at the pub waiting for him.
They were waiting for him. The police asked, what time are you going to be there? They knew when he was arriving. There were people waiting to talk to him. Ridiculous.
You want to get on?
And he got access to the mosque to go and interview all the people in the mosque as well.
Exactly. It was all pristine in there. All done, all decorated.
It was all renovated. It was all renovated.
Really?
Yeah.
Woodrow, how's it going? Because
Yeah, he's getting it. Hold on. We're into the Jeffo full section.
Vinny Eastwood's one of his subscribers is supposed to have given him $1,000 or something to go to Christchurch. I don't believe it. That was all the setup.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? Don't you think?
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. All this stuff. Vinny's sidekick, that wee guy, is with him.
Yeah, Ben Vision, total agent. Look at him.
I was arguing with Vinny Eastwood's chat in the live stream when he was, not long afterwards, after the event, and I told him, I said, where's the holes in the plaster? Where's the blood splatter? Where's the ambulances? Where's the dead people? And he's like, it was real, and then he just blocked me. That was it.
Here we go.
there we go.
Here we go. This is Mr. O'Toole in a message to me. That Max Egan interview has achieved nearly 1,000 viewers, 47 plus subscribers, and I have received $200 in donations.
Woo-hoo!
I had him on sooner.
Oh, wow.
That was the text.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's his word.
I've got that in text from him.
Well,
Who's
just for Jeff, that's Jeff we're talking about there.
Oh,
Show me. I want to see it.
Sorry?
You're reading it out. Can we see what you're reading?
Yeah, hang on. Oh, hang on. Can you see that?
Nice. Yeah, I see it.
Can you read it?
No, it's gone now because Robbo's fucking probably tinkering around and fucking.
Robbo's sleeping. What are you doing, Robbo?
But I had to go outside to hang the washing up, so I had to put a jacket on and put the phone near my top pocket.
I can pause it later on and see it. Cheers.
Hang on, look at this.
Everyone be quiet and just let Woodrow talk so you'll be able to see it.
His next comment as well. There it is there. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that?
Yep.
See his next comment? as well as 280 views on my other channel. Not one dislike.
What a fucking spooner.
Showed his true colours.
Wow.
No fool, you're a fucking fool. All right, guys.
There we go. Simon.
We want to run through New Zealand quickly. Most of you guys hopefully watched my video that I made. Took me fucking forever, but I was going to quit halfway through, but I said, fuck it. Egan's inspired me to make this fucking video, and it's the last thing I do. I got to finish it, but I could have done it, spent another 12 hours on it. But as you know, the problem is, look, I just want to mention something, right? We go back to World War II, 70 years ago, and since that date, calling the event the Holocaust a holocaust is taboo, right? We all know that there's people that have been put in prison for years speaking about it. Even in this fucked up country, Australia, there's an English guy called David Irving, one of the main fantastic guy. I think it was early 1980s, of course, wasn't allowed in to speak. In those days, I thought, yeah, this guy's a dickhead myself. You know, we all didn't know what was going on. Who's making that noise in the background? Fuck me.
Robbo.
Is it me?
Woodlow.
Robert,
I thought it was me.
Fucking would have been Robbo.
Fucking hell, Robbo, just mute your fucking mic.
Mute your
Yeah.
mic, you shit, all right?
Okay, I'll mute my mic. I'll mute
Mate.
I'll meet you later.
He's multitasking. He's cooking while he's hanging the washing out.
I'll mute, bud. I don't think it's me. I think it's somebody else. I'm getting wrongly accused here, but hey ho.
Yeah, I
No,
think
he's also
Sorry,
deep
Rob.
frying a Mars bar.
All right.
I'm just
As I was
waiting
saying-
for a cup of tea.
All right. Half time. I want to watch the footy. Fuck this. Yeah, like I said, David Irving in the early 80s, and recently David Icke was not allowed in Australia.
Hmm.
Fuck, this is a lucky country. But as you know, the Holocaust, you know, you're a Holocaust denier, you're a bad person because 6 million people fucking died and buried in a hole. 6 million people. And what's happened with Christchurch? That is the modern day version of the Holocaust. Hollowooks. I believe that is the big event that they have used to virtually silence us all. Censorship started a while ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, but this is the big killer. Robbo can confirm this. He knows more about it. A day or two. Oh shit! Sorry, I've got these things going. No, it wasn't a day or two. Not long. It was only a few weeks, a month ago. 18 or so countries got together with the transvestite Prime Minister of New Zealand, and they formed this thing, the Christchurch Calls. Christchurch Calls, where they made some pact or whatever that, you know, all these bullshit terrorism laws, extremist laws, and censor this and censor that. There's been no investigation, no fucking court trial or anything with this case, but yet,
Muted Robert.
you know, 18 countries have signed this fucking treaty or whatever you want to call it to do all this shit, to virtually censor anyone on the internet. And not only that, I'll read it out here, I've got it here. In Australia, this wonderful country that I happen to fucking live in, one day after the event, one day, hang on, where is it? There it is. Australia suddenly, get out of there. Australia suddenly passes new laws regulating streaming of abhorrent violent material by ISPs and other content providers. In brief, Australia has responded to the terror attack in Christchurch without any public consultation. Did you hear that? Without any public consultation.
Knee-jerk reaction.
Always.
that says it all, doesn't it?
The legislation's always ready to go, though, isn't it? It's
Mm.
always fucking ready. It's always there to get ready to go. Next day, day after, a week
It was
later.
one of the first things she said. Our gun laws will change because of
The
this.
next day. The next day she said that.
And they got that through what, in a week?
Yeah.
You know, with
Yeah.
legislation that would normally take a year.
It's the old problem reaction solution, guys. We
Yeah.
create the problem. The reaction is, oh, fucking, you know, terrible. The solution is bringing these law changes. But it says, without any public consultation, passing new laws within one day. One day. Robert, you can back me up. A government to pass a law, it takes months and fucking months. You know, that one day already, and this is with no trial, no investigation. It's all, you know, hearsay after one day. But Australian fucking government has done all this.
Can't unmute.
Has been done. If you watch my video, I believe that Australia, the government, whoever, were fully behind the Christchurch event. They wrote the script. So many common things about it. And as it continues on right now, the guy was supposedly in court yesterday, day before. His trial was going to be heard in May next year. Just like this Gargasola shit, we'll just drag it on. We'll bring in the mental fucking health bullshit, same shit, same fucking garbage. It'll just drag on and on and on. Robbo showed me a photo. I don't know, ask him where he got it from. There's an image of him in the court and of him in the car. It's not the same fucking guy.
No, it's not. It isn't. It isn't.
It's not.
That's why they've pixelated him in the court. It's fucking nuts.
There is a picture in court with his head showing, and it's not him.
No.
Won't fucking do it.
Just like Gargasolis, we could get on the Burke Street in a minute. That when we saw him in court, looks nothing like what we saw last week on Four Corners, the show, the documentary they did on him. He was interviewed by the cops days before the event. Only a year before we saw him in court. Completely different guy.
Yeah, not the same.
And it's a fucking joke. And they could do this shit.
Same haircut and Greek. That was about it.
He spoke Greek.
They did the same thing. Do you know that the MP here that was supposed to have been killed, Jo Cox, her name is? The guy that was supposed to have killed her in court was not the same bloke. The guy they're interviewing is a totally different person. Same thing they did here. I don't know if you know about that, Robbo. Have you seen that on Richard D. Hall's channel?
Is that even real? We're trying to unmute Robbo. Robbo's muted at the moment.
Yeah, I've actually seen it, and you're spot on with that one.
He doesn't.
Yeah, it's not the same guy. It's mental.
Oh no, he's still talking.
Robbo,
we can't hear you, Robbo. Stop talking.
We can see you, Robbo.
Where are you, Robbo?
You're still hanging out the washing.
Yeah. I think he's baking now. He said something.
We all know you're going to your shed, Robbo.
Robbo, unmute yourself.
All right, guys, you want it sort of one at a time. Say a few things about New Zealand, what you know about it, what you saw in my video, what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and, you know, just say your piece.
Who's first? Well, I after looking at your analysis, it was totally faked. That's definite. We always seeing is hot air coming out of that gun. The bullets have definitely been CGI'd in that piece that you showed, because there's nothing on the floor. There's things on the floor already that you can clearly see, but you don't see any bullets. And also there's another bit when he's shooting at people down the alleyway, you can hear the gun, but you can't hear any of the shells hitting the floor.
Yeah.
You can hear everything else. No,
have you guys seen better footage than I have? I didn't see any bullets. I didn't see any bullets. Not they're left on the ground. But
nothing.
The quality of the videos, they're fucking terrible. I don't see any fucking bullets.
There's
nothing on the ground.
There's only one scene, Smoking. We actually see the bullet cartridges being ejected from the gun and they're disappearing. In It's when he's out, when he comes back outside and he's shooting down the footpath at no one before he goes up towards the alleyway.
Where's Anaconda? He made a good video on a scene in that NZ thing where people could have escaped and they didn't. They just fucking all curled up in a fucking corner.
Oh, they were already fucking piled up in the corner before he walked in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about the guy's hat coming off? Not his head. Not any flesh or skin or blood. His fucking hat coming off.
What about the guy got shot in the back of the head and the back of his head was fine, but the front of his head was
oh please.
All the blood flew out over the floor. The big squib.
Yeah.
It's the only bit of blood, guys, as I pointed out. That guy got shot 4 times initially, then another 3 times. Then he shoots him again in the back of the head, and you get this massive splurge of blood.
Mm.
And that's the only time that we see anyone shot in the head that has any blood. I mean, when I say blood, it was a massive amount of blood. That guy, the cat, 2 shots in the head, nothing. Every other person was shot in the head, nothing. So it's obviously, where's the consistency?
And it was played out like a game. There was like there was ammunition left on the floor for
Did that
him.
deliberately to target game?
Like in a game. You get people just going past.
Sorry,
It's
as Russian Vid says you can't fake real. That's all you need to know.
And what about the guy, I call him Grey Man, virtually lay there with, supposedly said half his body was under the bench and virtually half his head.
No.
He never plugs him once, but yet he wants to shoot this other guy 3 separate times, shoots everyone else around. But the Grey guys, because like I keep saying, they had to have idiots there. They had to interview later.
Right.
Exactly.
The guy standing there.
Look, until I see fucking video of high quality, high definition 720 minimum, it's fucking bullshit. It's fake. It's a fucking GoPro. It's 720, I know it was live streamed or whatever, but until we're going to see proper full quality video of whatever happened, I'm not going to fucking even, it's fake.
Spoken, you got it wrong. It wasn't live at all. That's what they tried to sell the public.
Well, I know they did. I know, apparently fucking Facebook wasn't even, their live streaming service was down at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't live. It didn't get streamed live. That's bullshit.
Was down.
The guy would be lucky to have 2 followers. Him and his fucking brother. No one's going to follow that fucking idiot. They had to make it like it was live on that day. As you know, it wasn't live.
The whole Facebook network was down, and when it came back online, that's what everybody was shown. That's the first thing that came up.
Yeah.
It's all regional based, so what was down and what wasn't. It's a shit show. You'll never fucking know. All I know is that from what I've seen, it's low grain quality. You can't tell what the fuck's going on. To me, it's fucking bullshit fake. And
it's 2019. Why is it that quality? It's 2019. Why is that GoPro that quality? Bullshit.
Where's the surveillance camera footage?
Because it was meant to be live streamed, and that's the quality, or whatever network he had with his cell phone, or however they transmit it to go live. I don't know. I didn't even know you could stream with a fucking GoPro to Facebook, but apparently it's a thing.
Don't ever forget though that what we've been able to see is only because they've allowed us to see that and wanted us to see that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was the idea. They made out they don't want us to see it, but they did want us to see it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first Facebook live mass fucking shooting.
No.
It's happened several times before. And
this bullshit that if you're in New Zealand and if you upload it, you get 14 years in prison.
Yeah.
What a lot of shit.
That makes people even more curious to go and watch the video. That's how they fucking.
Yeah. That's the result.
It's a forbidden apple.
That's right. Don't look at this. Okay. That's what happened.
Yep. Fuck, I reckon I got 17 fucking different versions of the video on my fucking computer. So there's that. There's a good lifetime in jail.
17 lifetimes.
Just trying to get the perfect quality video, trying to see it in the best frame I can, because it's fucking terrible.
They're all the same. They're all
Spoken. I spent 3 weeks with my version, and I realised that deep inside the rabbit hole I had a better version. And when he sent it to me, I said, "Oh, you're fucking joking." So 3 weeks of work, I just said, "Fuck it, I got to restart," because especially when you zoom in, the quality of pixels, it's worse. And I thought, "Oh fuck, I got to do this all again because it's a little bit better," which has made a big difference.
It was really clear, some of it.
There's an important thing you got to note. That first guy, that fucking first idiot had 5 different versions of the story in one night, one day. He would have been the first guy shot. First guy shot, but no, he doesn't shoot him. No mention of the woman that he was talking to. What the fuck are they doing on the pavement 10 minutes into a prayer session? What, fucking talking about what they're going to do tonight? They should be inside praying. But no, that guy just happened to be one of the 3 foundation members of the fucking thing. And the other one just happens to be the idiot that supposedly was underneath the pile. They can all say this fucking pile shit. He happened to be the one at the door. But, yeah, he escaped 2 minutes in, and he climbs this fucking tree that if a monkey climbed, it would fucking snap me too. That's
It was
how
a
he
branch.
He would have broken him tried to climb it.
Not only that, guys, I'll read this other article in a second. The other fucking idiot, as you know, I pointed out, 7 seconds after his first shot, we could see the doorway of the main room. There's not a fucking person, 250 supposed men escaping in 10 seconds, and 50 in the women's room. That's going on the minimum of 300. Wikipedia says 300 to 500. I'm going on the lowest figure. But the fucking idiot imam in the pulpit just happened to hide in the pulpit, which fucking a fucking 3-month-old baby would still be seen in the pulpit. But this guy supposedly hid in the pulpit. But here's the latest news I want to read out to you about this guy. Hang on. Christchurch imam Gamal Fuda bids to enter politics. Wow.
What a surprise! I can't believe it.
He's running for politics. Oh, fucking give me a break. Hear him talk.
Richwood's vote.
Talk.
Video vote.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, what I'm saying is that those two, that guy, just so happens the president of the Islamic, whatever, the first Friday in 8 years couldn't make it for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, a bit like fucking Larry Silverstein.
He was busy.
All the top knobs in this Muslim fucking bullshit, lost shit. None of them got injured, let alone not killed, or let alone injured or shot, because it's too hard to fake. You know, important people. I mean, they can't do it, like I said, like they did in the Burke Street bullshit here with the restaurant owner who died days before the event. Was an opportune time to use him as a supposed guy to try to stop the terrorists. So we don't feel any.
The first guy.
There's been a video put out. There's a guy that's in America. That's supposedly one of the dead people in New Zealand, but he's in America. This guy with all the names. But anyway, you notice that half the fucking people that supposedly died were all from overseas. No one knew their names. They just make up fucking bullshit names. The only person that died in that event, not in that event, that was the guy at the doorway. Hello, brother. Who the fuck says hello, brother to someone?
75-year-old.
75-year-old Harley rider.
And if you see him laying down, he's wearing modern jeans. He looks nothing like a 70-fucking-1-year-old. That guy,
yeah, also, guys, his stomach is white, and the old guy's got like olive brown skin, but the belly's white. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he got shot 9 times with the fucking shotgun. Yeah, not a bit of blood. But yeah, but yeah, hello, brother. So at the funeral, all the kids have got the fucking, drawn the signs, hello, brother, because he's known now as hello, brother, man. He died probably days before opportune time. Not to use the actor that was at the doorway. We'll get this guy, make out he was at the doorway. We'll have a real funeral. We'll have the bikie fucking, idiots roll up in the bikes, because this 71-year-old was a bikie lover. Oh, get fucked with you. So it was a real funeral, probably a real death. That's how they sold it. You didn't see any other fucking funerals, of course. Just this one guy.
Yeah, that's the only one we saw. Yeah,
it's the only one the bike agreed to turn up.
So yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say, guys? Anyone else?
Hey, did you see? Well, we know how many people supposedly were killed. Was it 50?
51.
51.
And how many people were injured?
50 as well.
All right. I think it's RNC TV news crew in New Zealand did a story the other day about how many hours these people have spent in hospital. It was something like 19,000 hours, but don't quote me on this. I'll go back and have a look. But at the start of it, they said something like 124 people had been treated as a result of this event.
Oh, that's too many.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did anyone see that?
No.
I did download.
That's basically what? That's weird.
I'll check it later, but I'm sure they said 124 people.
23 psychologically injured police.
Yeah, probably were treated as a result of this event.
Hey, Woodrow, what really is interesting. I don't know what the main hospital was around where it happened, but wouldn't all the staff be just a little bit, you know, thinking, okay, we've had a mass shooting close by, blah, blah, blah. Where is everybody? You know, wouldn't they be like just asking questions? Wouldn't they be just so fucking confused by it all? Wouldn't they be?
Smoking, it's every staged event. You can go to London, Manchester, all these events, even Burke Street. The same thing would apply with hospital staff. Same thing.
All the hospitals.
Yeah, they get around it. I don't know
Are they
how.
all in on it, or are they just all scratching their heads like everybody else is open-minded?
And if you
It's got to be an element of control, you know.
the Victoria,
It's obviously confined to one part, you know, of the hospital. Most of them.
Well, if I was like a trained nurse or, you know, someone that worked there, a cleaner or fucking anybody,
Yeah,
you'd be
you-
like, oh, look, that shooting just fucking close by, all these people shot and fuck all people come in here. You know, they should be all like,
But most-
asking questions.
Most people will just buy it, mate, won't they? You know,
They'll say to the cleaner, you can't see him because he's in surgery now. And obviously,
Yeah.
if they're in surgery, you're not going to see him. And that's what they'll say to all the nurses and that, you know, you won't see them. They'll have their own
And you just
separate
need a few ambulances coming in with their sirens on, you know,
yeah,
and people think something's happening.
got to
Yeah,
go.
I just think if you're a surgeon or if you're a doctor, you'd be fucking like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, but
What
what
are
about
they trying to sell right now? Like,
But
What-
what sort of doctors and that do they involve in this? Because remember with the Melbourne one, I think I did a video on one of the doctors. I mean, he wasn't a doctor that you'd expect would treat. He was a neurologist or something, someone to do with, you know, the urinary tract. That,
Oh, God.
that was his job. But somehow he was being interviewed after the Burke Street event. You know, why would they interview a doctor like that when it had to do with people being hit with a car? It had nothing to do with their urinary tracts, yet they've got this urinary doctor talking about injuries to people and to children and shit like that.
So they're not directly the same.
Who remembers Dr. Carver from Sandy Hook?
Carver. Yeah.
Well,
oh,
Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
thing.
he was a coroner, wasn't he?
Yeah, the coroner.
he was one of the.
Hmm.
Can I be heard?
Yeah, go for it. You may as well
Can I
get.
be heard?
Hang on, Robert.
You got 30 seconds. Go.
Hurry up.
No, Carver. He was one of the founding members of. I can never remember the thing that 138 found.
That'll
There
do.
was a
That's enough,
what was
Robert.
it called?
Time's up. Next person.
No, but he was one of the founding members of the Harvard constituency, and they all met up in December 2012, and they started the Stop the Bleed protocol, which is what introduced tourniquets. And the first thing that happened after that was the Boston Hoaxathon in March 2013, and that's when you first saw all the tourniquets. So he was part of the group that was founded, which brought in tourniquets at all these events.
Okay.
So
Oh,
there you go.
The big
Carver
one,
for you.
guys, if you've seen my video, the big one, three women died at El Nor. Clearly, 3 women died. The other woman, wheelchair woman, and pink woman around the corner. But yet only 2 were listed in the police deaths and all the deaths. So who is the third person? The pink lady that's clearly dead, laying on the pavement 20 metres from the gate. Who is that person? How can you have a dead person and not being listed? What's going on here?
Well, what about the 3 people who came back to life at the other place?
The hand was like that.
The Prime Minister of New Zealand was on an hour and a half after the event saying that there was 40 dead at Al Noor and 10 dead at the other place. And in the official numbers at the end of the day, there's only 7 alleged dead at the other place. So how the fuck does that happen? And more to the point, the names, they actually came out, the police put out a statement and actually had a press conference about the process they would go through to identify all the bodies. And it took them to the Thursday of the following week to get all the people identified. Yet the media had all the names the following day. Explain that.
No, they're good.
Because it's bullshit.
You look at the video, guys. How many people would have survived his round of shooting there? out of the, 40 people in there, how many would have survived and been injured? We heard 40 died, right, in the Almore, and that's about all we see in there. There's probably 15 and 20 in the two piles of idiots. There's 3 in the doorway, and there's a couple laying on the floor. Lucky to be 40 people there. So they're the 40 that got killed. Where's the 40 injured?
That's right. There wasn't enough. There's not enough.
Not only that, where are all the women? Where are all the women and children that they said were running and screaming and jumping out of windows? We don't see one single fucking woman inside that mosque. Oh,
At home where they should be, in the kitchen.
Mr. Jammer said it was 50.
Fucking hell.
All right. One other thing, I want your opinion on how this car got stopped by the cops. How did this car, the guy from left foot driving, how can a cop car hit him on the side and stop him and just make him stop at the curb and end up being, virtually side by side or more like that? How can that happen? Tell me.
Those cops were being trained that very afternoon on how to do that exact same thing.
They were trained by the flying baby story.
You can't stop a car, mate. If you're driving both together, you cannot stop the car. You spin around, you go everywhere. You're not going to be stuck. And if you saw the photo of the car on the side, it's only damaged clearly by a hammer, and the part above the 2 wheels isn't damaged. It's just, exactly right in the smack middle. No way known. That would have been staged on that day, making out that, he's just done his Moss bullshit. But we know,
Well,
Just speak for 2 seconds.
Hey, wasn't there a photo? Not taking anything away from your 12-hour documentary, but wasn't there a photo actually after the car was stopped that was released of a black dude that was arrested at the scene next to the car in camo gear? Have you seen that picture?
That was another one.
Yeah. Apparently, he took his kids. He wore that when he took his kids to school. That was the story for that. He got released. That's he just wears that gear when he takes his kids to school.
Yeah. Apparently, his skin colour changed. That's what
I used to wear a McDonald's suit when I used to take my kids to school.
What about Carlos Arredondo of the New Zealand event then?
Oh, yeah, isn't he a fucking replica? Isn't that?
You got to have your hero. You got to hear it. He threw a credit card machine and the guy shit himself. I mean, what? Then he threw a fucking rifle at him, empty rifle, smashed his window, smashed his fucking window, and he had to get out of there. And he chased him by foot to the fucking lights, 150 metres down. I mean, it's like a fucking Indian Minto chasing the cop car.
Where the hell was the photo of the F-Box machine on the ground?
Yeah,
Never saw that, did we?
Well, the thing is, if you listen to any of the alleged witnesses, even Vinny's ones that he spoke to, apparently he never even went inside that mosque because he couldn't get in. He couldn't find the door. So how the fuck is there a gun seen inside? And when the aftermath footage is in the doorway, which the guy with the oversized jacket who pretends to be dead and wanders around and kicks it as he's walking through the doorway, how does the gun get inside? Because any gun that allegedly dropped was chucked at his car.
Javelin. He threw it like a javelin.
Yeah, it went through the window.
Javelin. Like an arrow.
It was like a baby tram javelin through the windscreen.
Just on his arrest, guys. I mean, maybe he threw away all his fucking 6 rifles because that's what you do after, drawing all that shit on him. So he probably didn't have a rifle when he got arrested because one of the 2 cops didn't have a rifle or a gun, whatever. But he actually got out the car and says, yeah, arrest me because, whatever. I'm scared. What a fucking joke.
What was the level?
What's that?
What was the level? 62.
Oh, fuck, don't worry about it. All right, Avalon, is you still there?
Tonight, mate.
Avalon. Avalon's not there. All right. Anyone else want to say something about it?
Well, you were talking about your law that got brought in Australia there earlier on. That's the. I think you've got it's called the Criminal Code or the Criminal Act. It's back in 1995, and there was a bill to introduce amendments to that, and that was the Abhorrent Violent Material Bill. Now that was all written. The whole thing was drafted out, and it got presented to.
What year, Robbo? Sorry.
I think it's 1995. The Criminal Act or the Criminal Code.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
And there was amendments to that which were brought in this bill, which was put through Australian Parliament. And if you go to the Aussie website for legislation, it's a bit like the UK. You've got to introduce a bill. It then gets you'll have consultations for it. It'll then get read in one house. Well, we've got the House of Commons and the House of Lords here. It's got to go through both houses. The same thing in Australia. You've got to go through the Senate and the Representatives or whatever your two houses are. Then it gets royal assent. But along the way, you have consultations and so on and so forth. And also in Australia, you've got a regulation statement you've got to issue for any bill that you're planning on introducing. And a regulation statement has got to set out why you're wanting to bring in the regulations. And you've got to have three scenarios. One is what you're wanting to introduce. One is what the status quo is, and one is you've got to have at least one other alternative in terms of. So you've actually been through the possibilities and the different scenarios of why you're wanting to bring this bill in. Well, in Australia, the regulation statement, your Prime Minister decided you didn't need to do that. It was introduced into the first House, whatever it is, the Senate. I don't know which one comes first in Australia, but the first House, it was introduced on the 3rd of April. It had all its readings on the 3rd of April because you have first readings, second readings, and so on. The next day it went into the Senate and it had its introduction, its first readings, second readings and amendments and all that stuff. And then it had royal assent by the 5th of April. So from the 3rd of April to the 5th of April, this Act of Parliament had no public consultation, no regulation statement, no discussions, no fucking input, fuck all, got brought in. And the part of that law got brought in there, changed the Criminal Act. This is the Abhorrent Violent Material, and basically it's for service providers around the world. If you're producing if your platform has what they class abhorrent violent material on it, the E-Commissioner or whoever it is in Australia, they just have to look at it, and if they deem it, it's just them themselves. If they decide it's abhorrent violent material, they write to the service provider, and they have to take it down immediately if it's viewable in Australia. If they don't take it down, then they've broken that law, and they're then subject to 3 years in prison potentially, or $2 million fines.
Robert.
And basically, hold on, let me just finish on this. The thing about the fundamental thing about this, when you read all the introductory notes to it, they even talk about. Across the world, you have a presumption of innocence in all legal systems. This Act of Parliament that's been brought in has flipped that. If you've got abhorrent, if somebody in Australia decides it's abhorrent violent material, and it is that, and it's up to the service provider to actually prove that it's not that, not the other way around. The burden of proof gets flipped onto the side who's been accused, and in any legal system in the world, it's the accuser who has the burden of proof, not the opposite way around. But this Act of Parliament flips it.
Robert, the question is, how many other countries have the same legislation as Australia does that?
Probably not that many at the moment, but as usual, Australia will be the guinea pig and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, we're always the guinea pig.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you actually read all the introductory notes based on New Zealand, it actually says it right at the start, because of the events in New Zealand. So the whole thing is predicated on New Zealand, and as you say, there hasn't been a trial. There's not been any fucking investigation or fuck all. Yet you've got a law for this. And the odd thing about this law, after 2 years, they have a review period of this law, and then they get 12 months to put a report in after the 12 years are up, after the 2 years are up, and then the Parliament then has a discussion about what they've got from these results, and they've got to do that in a 15-day period. Well, fuck's sake, you passed the fucking law in 2 days. Where's the consistency?
It's never. Once the law's in, it's never going to be fucking changed. Right?
Yeah. And the thing is, in this law here, for the party, and what it is here, is to frighten any service provider, because the service provider is deemed guilty for a kickoff, so they've got to take the thing down. And it tells you what the defences that they can put up, and the defences that they can put up, it actually goes down through them, and there's very few that you'll be able to hang your hat on. And one of the ones is if it's journalism, then you can get away if it's journalism. But they actually define journalism that you've got to be an official journalist. This is in your Act of Parliament, right? So somebody who's just an investigate themselves, a journalist themselves, whatever, somebody just trying to expose the truth, they won't meet the classification of an official journalist, and therefore the service providers will never be able to use that as a defence, and therefore all service providers will never ever put that sort of material up because they're that shit scared that they'll end up in the courts in Australia.
It will scare all of them, won't it?
That's it. It's unfucking believable.
It's all about fear.
I'd actually suggest that no governments are actually in charge of any countries or corporations.
Correct.
They're all just puppet masters for the corporations who actually run the world. And I think we'll see an ongoing,
Well, the thing is,
this will carry on into other countries, but I don't believe any of the countries actually write the laws anymore, mate. It's all over. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. If you actually look at all the documents that are on your Australia website, it shows you all. Even the guidance notes for it. The time it would take somebody to write all that stuff, never mind draft a bill. For you to draft some legislation, you've got to think about all the eventualities and make sure all the definitions are there and it fits them and everything else. You don't just do that in 2 weeks, right?
It's beyond ridiculous, mate. It's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a complete joke. And the fact, just the drafting of it wouldn't be done in that period, but to put it through Parliament with no fucking thing. But the other thing on the back of that is PK mentioned it's this Christchurch call. Yeah. All the world leaders around the world signed up to this Christchurch.
Oh, yeah, didn't they all go to fucking Christchurch and fucking meet?
Well, London, wasn't it, or Paris?
I think
it was in Paris. It was in Paris where they all signed up to the Christchurch call. But all that is orientated again to clamping down on social media. That's all it is. It's clamping down on social media. That's the whole purpose of all this here, is to stop the truth getting out, and so that all the propaganda bullshit reigns supreme.
It's all about that, just to shut it all off.
Yeah.
What was it? Where was it where they mentioned well documented? We aren't allowed to report on anything that's been well documented.
Well documented.
Mainstream news, we've got to take that as 100% fact, and we're not allowed to say that's bullshit. Where was that?
I think that's YouTube's guidelines. They changed them to that. That was their way of getting around it. That if something's well documented and you're saying something contrary to it, then that's a breach of their guidelines.
The Ministry of Truth. That's what it is.
Yeah,
spot on.
But it's all just to clamp down on. It's usual story. All the laws are based on a whole lot of shite. But by the time, even if it ever came out that the Christchurch thing was a lot of bullshit, that would be years down the line. But these laws are already in place. They'll never go back and change them. That's them there. They're here to stay. That's it. End of.
They're never going back. That's right.
That's why we're fucked, guys, because Christchurch, as we all know, absolute fucking bullshit. But you go on the internet, you will not see one video unless you're in 153, which no one goes there.
No,
you will not see any video calling it a hoax or what go back 5 years, mate. Type in Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook.
Yeah. It's all gone. All gone.
Fucking video calling it bullshit.
It's all made.
So they've got away with Christchurch. They fill the whole world, and from there, everyone will be censored.
ABC, NBC.
I noticed a year ago they were fucking doing it.
Whenever you do a search for anything like that, it's all the fucking big mainstream news media videos that come up first.
Yeah.
And
even if you put something
and debunking. Debunking's huge.
Yeah.
Debunking fucking.
But even if you put like the exact name of a video that goes against the grain and search for it in YouTube, it'll be well down the page.
If it's there.
Yep. Yeah, but just
all we're doing is using their footage. It's not like we're putting out, bullshit footage. We're just talking about what we see on their footage. So why don't the CNNs and the whatever BBCs have their stuff deleted if they're showing exactly what we're showing?
Yeah.
But The act that's been brought in, what they say is this abhorrent violent material has got to be material that's produced by the perpetrators or some of his associates, right? So if you show the video that this guy allegedly shot himself, he filmed himself when he was on his rampage, you know, that's what's classed as the abhorrent violent material because it was filmed by a perpetrator or one of his associates, i.e. himself, right? He was the perpetrator. And the whole point behind this act is because it will potentially radicalise other people if they see it.
The massacre was hosted by Facebook.
It's to protect you Australians because you're that fucking gullible that if you see this footage, then you're going to want to go and do the same thing yourself.
We in Australia need protection from cradle to grave.
Well, that's what it says. It's vulnerable. It's vulnerable people. It's to protect vulnerable people.
That's us.
We're in any country. We're vulnerable. Help!
But the thing is, 153's already been. They've already had notices under this. They got a notice under this new Act of Parliament. Now that's probably a record. I don't know how quickly between an Act of Parliament being passed.
Do you know what's going on there?
Hold on, Robert.
Do you know what's going on there, Robbo? Because I'm really confused about all that. Because what I've been able to gather, it's got something to do with child abuse.
No, I think that's a bit of a red herring as far as if you read into it, because child abuse is mentioned in the abhorrent violent material. It's all orientated to basically the New Zealand thing, but child abuse or child violence against children or whatever like that, that's one of the headings that's covered in this act, that you can't have material, that content. So I think all that's been mentioned there is mentioned in the Act of Parliament that she's had the notice under. So he got the notice from the E-Commissioner, or whatever they're called, the E-Reporter, or whatever they are in Australia. And whenever he gets his notice, he must take down all the content which is got that material in it from Australia, so it's no longer available in Australia. He's got to take it off. So the Act of Parliament does mention child abuse in there, so I think that's, I don't know, somebody's probably just messing around with things there. That is mentioned in the Act of Parliament, but his notice is a notice under the Act, and he was told to withdraw it. And if he doesn't withdraw it, he's automatically deemed to be reckless, and that's then he then becomes liable for potentially a 3-year jail sentence or a $2 million fine if you don't take it down, because you're deemed to be reckless.
All right, Robbo, you've done your impersonation of Russian vids. Avalon, Avalon, do you hear me?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, well, give us your two bubs.
Yeah, look, I mean, look, the New Zealand was all bullshit. But what's interesting here is the very fact is, you got to ask yourself, around the world, how many people had the opportunity to actually see that footage? I bet you not many. And what I mean by that is the very fact is that then allows mainstream media to go ahead and do the pre-packaged propaganda, with their the victims and the survivors. And I kind of I'll give you an example. Anybody who's seen that footage, including myself and you guys, and then we go to an article here with regard to one of the victims, and his name was where are we? Wasim Al-Sati. Do you know this guy?
Sounds like a real name.
Is that the one that
was? Here's my point. Here's my point. He stated that himself and his daughter, and it really fucking shits me when they bring kids into this. Okay, but anyway, that's another story. But the very fact is, he says that his daughter and himself was shot by the alleged shooter outside the mosque, okay, at Al Noor. Well, that if someone or any people didn't see that footage, then they wouldn't know any different, because that's what the mainstream media is putting out. However, it's like, well, how can we prove that this is actually 100% a lie? Well, you can, and the reason you can do that is because once you've seen the video, you realize that this fucker was never around, nor was his daughter. You know what I mean? So, there you go. With 100% a lie by this crisis actor. And, it's supported by the mainstream media. That's what really shits me off about this. And, the actual footage was absolute shitty, grainy, poor as shit. But this is one of the things that probably New Zealand probably did pretty well, and that was to actually make sure that footage was not available to the masses, and then they were able to produce this propaganda bullshit. There you go.
Especially in New Zealand.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And think about this. You think about the Commonwealth countries. I mean, it was just a matter of time before they did one in New Zealand, just to actually.
They were overdue, weren't they?
Well, it had to happen in the most peaceful country,
Exactly. That was the last country that they had to bring in, and that's exactly what they did.
Anyway.
And everyone they interviewed, every single person they interviewed said the same thing. I came here because it's a peaceful country, and we would never have thought this would happen. The whole thing is about it could happen anywhere, in your backyard, anywhere. This terrorism bullshit, whether it's a Muslim or it's a white extremist now. Anyone's a terrorist now. Anyone who kills anyone is a terrorist. Full stop.
Yeah, and PK, this event, this phony fake show event had many layers. And, so they had to bring in, and I'm not being racist here, but they had to bring in the Muslim community, didn't they?
They flipped the terrorist script,
Correct.
They flipped it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they've done. This was well orchestrated.
It's not the first time they've done it like this, though.
All terrorists were Muslims before.
It's hard to imagine all Muslims must have been in on it, mate. They obviously, the heads got told, look, you're going to get repaid for whatever. We'll build a brand new mosque or, in both places, whatever. And they said, yeah. And obviously somehow they had to get all their fucking worshippers to go in with it. It's just hard to imagine, but that's what
It's
they
sickening.
did.
It makes me sick to think of all those people involved. They're all there, lying, all involved.
There wasn't that many, though.
Sickening. It really is.
That mosque was under investigation a few years ago, wasn't it? There were a couple of guys who ended up in Syria who blew up something or whatever, and they used to pray at the Al Noor Mosque.
They were radicalised there, allegedly.
They did. Yeah, of course they did.
I've got to go soon, P. I don't know if you can see my message come up there.
Oh, I'm not looking here. Sorry.
I've emailed you and I put on the chat.
Yeah, no, you got to go, so you keep going. You have to. We want to hear.
Jack was saying she was offended by Woodrow's comment about women being their place was in the kitchen.
Oh, don't bring that up again.
I did not say that.
I was only joking.
I'm only joking.
Yeah, Jackie.
I'm the one in my family. I'm the one that spends more time in the kitchen than anyone else.
There you go.
Yeah.
Doing the dishes, not cooking.
Munching.
Opening the fridge.
All right, Jackie, if you have to go, I'll give you the final word. Talk about anything, Jackie, whatever you want.
I did want to bring up, I know we quickly went past it, but when we saw the car and they stopped the car and it had the 3 bullets at the front, and we don't see those bullets being shot from inside the car at all.
But next you can see one bullet up top from the inside, even though we don't see the other 3.
No.
Yeah,
But then when they stop the car, there's 3 bullets. That's ridiculous.
It's only evidence.
And Jackie, just to let you know too that when I did a video on that, and I think PK mentioned it with regard to stickers. I actually found a sticker that looked exactly the same as what was on that front windscreen.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And like you were saying, Avalon, they were relying on people not seeing it, so then they could say whatever they wanted to. Like PK pointed out in his video, the Daily Mail were making shit up and just saying there was a mother and child on the floor and stuff. But we didn't see that. But we've seen the video. A lot of people haven't, so they would just say, "Yeah, that's what happened."
And Jackie, there's an old saying: "You don't know what you don't know."
Yeah.
There are no knowns.
But PK, I just want to say your film is fantastic, and if Max Argan and Vinnie Eastwood don't watch it and make a comment, then I think that says it all, really. Max needs to watch your analysis, which is a proper analysis. It's a lot less grainy shit than he showed us.
Yeah.
And I want Max to watch it, and I want Vinny to watch it, and I want them to comment on it as well.
He's got one frame out of 35,000. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So Max, if you're watching this, you need to talk about it. You need to watch PK's video, and you need to stop lying, mate.
He'll watch it.
My
He'll
last
say
word.
he has watched it.
He doesn't want to hurt his income. He doesn't want to hurt
No.
his website.
He's just Max Eigen is one massive ego now. That's all he is.
He's the fat cat in the
One
hat.
big fat ego.
Fat cat in the hat.
Right, I'm going to go, guys. It's been nice to meet you all.
Okay.
Yeah, nice
Nice meeting you too.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Great to see you, Jackie.
All
Yeah,
right.
take care, guys.
What are you
All right, Jack. Talk to you soon. Bye.
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 What are you fucking talking about?
Max is saying goodbye.
That's fucking good.
Oh,
That's more real than Max.
hang on, I gotta blow my nose.
That's not Max. That's color in his face.
Oh.
You'll need a bed sheet for that, Woodrow. All right, Tony, you have to go as well. Do you want to say a few things?
No, I was going to earlier, but fuck it. I'll get a word in. Fucking hell.
Oh, tell us what you've been
I'll
doing.
get
What
fucked.
have you been doing?
Fuck you. No, next time.
We all want to know who that woman was in Perth that you're walking around the mall with. Who was that?
Well, the one with the bolt-ons.
What do you call it?
Fucking cushions.
It's a new safety measure.
Somebody help keep him up for her?
She'd never get a broken nose. She couldn't fall down and break her nose. mate.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Hey, smoke and talk about bollards, eh, mate?
Yeah.
Big ball.
They could use
Yeah, all right, I'm off. Have a good night.
Smoking, before you
See you,
go,
smoking.
don't go yet. Guys,
Yeah.
just want to quickly talk about Burke Street and the shit we saw last week.
Yeah, how about that new footage? There's finally video of Jimmy driving down Burke Street, apparently. from the night before.
about Jimmy's wardrobe change.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Oh, the
Burke Street footage now. You're aware of that?
Is that?
About 3 frames.
turns into Burke Street.
They
There's
even
I
got
must have-
trees to the
footage of him going down Burke Street now.
Yeah, 3 frames. The
3
car,
frames. Yep, standard. Good night. See you later. That's fucking how it goes.
the car,
Fucking 3 frames.
the car turns into a 12-foot limo, mate. Can you notice?
Yeah,
Oh,
comes a 12-foot.
and there's people like sold on it now. Oh, fucking yeah, there he is down Burke Street. Yeah, 3 frames. Go and get fucked.
I want to.
Hang on. I mentioned this to Pyman, I think. There's a bit of footage there. I haven't seen before. Coming out of a shop. Have you seen it?
Which one?
It looks like he's coming in off the tram track.
Yeah, near the casino.
No, not the casino one. The other one where you can actually see people outside of a door, out of a store. It looks like a shoe shop or something. And you can actually see the car and you can see the 2 cop cars. Where the fuck is that? I'm going to go into town and walk along there and actually compare the frontages of all the shops around there. Because fuck, I don't know how they did that.
That's the Burke Street one I'm talking about, I think.
Yeah, is that what you're saying? Sorry.
Yeah, that's what the car stretches. It stretches. It becomes like twice as long as a normal Commodore.
Is that near the end of Woodrow's video?
Oh, yeah, I think it should be in there.
Yeah, because I
thought that might have
watched yours
been
and I fell asleep about the.
a shoe
I
shop.
fell asleep before the end, so it must be because it was just bullshit.
Oh, you thought you fell asleep during one of my videos?
That wasn't your video. You were just mirroring the shit that they were broadcasting.
Oh, yeah. Corner show.
Yeah.
It was near the end, I think, yeah. Because she actually says, as he went off Swanson, then he went into Burke, something like that.
Swerved into Burke Street.
How can they do that when he didn't? I don't know. What do you reckon?
Well, it's fucking taken them, how many years to come up with that fucking little bit of bullshit, 3
Yeah, I know.
frames.
We've only waited 2.5 years to see fucking the car on Burke Street.
If that's the best they
Is
can
that all I
do.
got? Really?
Let's put things into perspective just quickly. Everything we've seen so far, like up until the other night, there was 3 frames showed on Burke Street. Everything that happened that they've shown us
It's fake.
With all Flinders, Swanson Street, wasn't it? It was all Swanson Street.
Yeah, that's all.
Correct.
Okay, well, do you know how many fucking cameras there are in Burke Street Mall?
Yeah, well, you Canada, you tell us.
You went through there. Man.
There's over fucking 190, all right, and that's in the mall.
And not one.
And they've released 3 frames. 3 fucking frames.
You fucking get.
3 frames. What did they watch in that court, Pete? You went to them court, didn't you? What were they watching?
I'll tell you what I saw. I don't expect.
Watching.
It's hard to see, you know, in the public galleries upstairs, and you're looking to the side through a sort of screen, one of those screens, and it's hard to see the TV on the side. What they started off was fucking helicopter footage, supposedly, just footage showing, you couldn't even tell there was a red Commodore, traffic going around. This went for like 2.5 minutes. No big deal. But then all of a sudden, it just cut to where he didn't start his donuts. He was just about to do his donuts. It's footage I haven't seen before where they gave way to a tram or something. But they never actually showed him actually going into Flinders Street corner and how he did that. The helicopter footage cut after 2.5 minutes. But then they showed the donuts, then Swanson Street. Then they showed this fucking absolute garbage, you know, like a few seconds of just edited shit, you know, animated shit, like footage coming out of a store, of a car just going past, a body bouncing off, one body skidded like 30 feet on the pavement, which is impossible. And it was just so quick, you couldn't even make out what was going on. But you never actually saw the sides, the street, the shops. You could not tell it was Burke Street, or we couldn't tell where it was. There was no side-on shot from the driver's side. You couldn't tell who was in the car. There was no.
Yeah.
It was just.
So
window or
what you're describing, PK, is something no one else has seen, isn't it? Because I haven't seen anyone get hit by.
No. 8 people in the public gallery, plus all the fucking actors downstairs. They're the only people that saw it, and we'll never ever see it. As Woodrow put in a, what do you call it?
Freedom of information.
FOI. He just asked the question, what do you want to see? Why do you want to see it? You know, they won't show you. We'll never see it.
Yeah.
Animation. The word animation. They admitted it's animation. Why would you fucking animate CGI? Show us the real thing.
There's no real footage, PK, you know that.
No, but how can you animate something that's, you know, that's...
Were all the CCTV cameras functional at the time? They weren't down for.
The one outside the RACV club was, because Lou saw it.
He's going to see that. Yeah, that's right. He's going to talk about that, wasn't he, in the Crown Court or whatever?
Yeah.
Crown Witness, whatever they fucking call it.
Lou saw it.
I'll tell you who the witnesses were. There were 9 witnesses, Smoking. They interviewed 900. They interviewed 900 witnesses. Did not want to interview my son because they didn't. Hang on. 900 witnesses they interviewed. At the trial, there was 9 witnesses that got up, and 6 of them were cops. 5 of them, all they talked about was the 2 weeks and the night prior to the event. That was 5 of them. The other one was Getner, who was in that as well, who supposedly was in one of the marked cars at the.
Can't remember.
He couldn't even recollect whether he was the first silver car or the second. That's what he said. And this guy, I swear, he said when Donuts got to the end of Swanson Street, he actually did not go back on the Swanson Street. He stayed on the pavement and turned left into Burke Street. He said that in court. Swear 100%. We clearly see that he swerved past that guy who was supposedly in a handicapped motorised machine, falling on the ground, and Jimmy swerves finally left. Then right.
Yeah, the Swanson Street video shows that he fucking went back out onto the road.
He said he didn't. He stayed on the pavement. And I felt like getting up and yelling out, fucking what's this shit? So that's 6. The other 3 were the fucking idiots that we saw on the show last week. One's, I don't know, one's a bullshit fucking solicitor or something. One's bullshit. What was he, a doctor or something? Two of them said those two said all they heard was sound, thud, thud, thud. And I think only one person said he saw fucking something. Out of 900 people, that's all they could come up with. Where is fucking Lou the cabbie? Where is fucking Christine Nixon? Oh no, she comes on later in the event.
Lou couldn't find
Karaoke, where's he?
Gary.
No, but the best one. Where's the fucking nanny? The nanny who asked Christine Nixon, "Oh, have you seen my baby?" I get this, smoking. Look, we're going to go through this again. All right, the nanny's pushing the pram, right? Nanny's pushing the pram, double pram. The car's fucking behind. First thing you'd hit is the nanny. No mention of any nanny till the fucking. The only mention of the nanny was when they had the pre-trial, the fucking bullshit victim statements. They actually mentioned a name, I think, Aaron something, out of nowhere. All right, so the pram goes 100 metres. Listen to this. Pram goes 100 metres. Half of it gets stuck on a windscreen. Fucking yeah, right. The 2-year-old flies 150 metres. Fucking, oh, my God. The baby flies 70 metres, lands in the middle of the pavement. We all know where the baby landed. You know, 30 metres short of the lights. In the middle of nowhere, you had 5 or 6 people surrounding the baby. So what does fucking nanny do? Walk straight past Harkin, where the bikes are, supposed Harkin, right?
Harkin.
30, 40 metres later, if the baby walks straight past that, it says, I got to go to the corner and talk to Christine fucking Nixon and ask her, have you seen the baby? And I've just walked up 30 metres back. Can you fucking believe this shit?
The Four Corners shit. Actually, Christine made a guest appearance on the Four Corners report. And she said, well, this will actually be the third time that she changed this story officially, all right? The third issue that she actually changed the story. She said, the woman said to me, have you seen my baby? So I went to being, oh, fuck, what happened?
Oh, we're still there somewhere.
Yeah, it originated with it being the mother originally. In another interview, she said it was the care of the baby, and now it's gone back to being the mother again. So there you go.
Story right, poor old Christine.
Poor old Christine.
I mean, not Dad, because Robbie hasn't given her a word for a while.
Can someone remind me what the fuck Christine Nixon was doing on the fucking sidewalk when all this shit was going down?
She'd had lunch and she was going to walk to is it Spencer Street station?
Yeah.
Railway station?
Robert, have you seen Christine? She doesn't walk.
Yo, I could guess that.
Robert, 140 on a Friday fucking afternoon. She'd be having a third fucking course or a 9-course meal, mate. Fucking would be at the streets.
Pete, where was Saturday? Where was she back Saturday?
Eating.
Oh,
In a restaurant in South Melbourne.
Those guys looking at 55. Fuck them.
but there because 1,000 cops were traumatized.
Oh,
and they took her to the job, so she had to do fucking corner traffic duty. Oh, fucking what?
Look at the cops in some of that footage. They're standing around with their cocks out nearly just waiting. They don't look traumatized. They're doing fuck all. They don't even look like cops.
They're all telling the people, put the head to the side, put the head to the side. Yeah, next one, put the head to the side. You know, fucking what they would do is telling everyone that
half of them coppers in the footage, I don't even reckon they're coppers, half of them. Some of them are just getting around with a fucking hoodie on that says they're police.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey guys, who was a copper that was texting that prick? What's his name?
That's Gettner. If the story goes, Gettner and Jimmy became buddies over the previous weeks. You know, he liked him. As cops go, Jimmy had a fascination for this Gettner guy. Because he arrested it a few times. What the story was one time.
He was texting his stolen phone during the trial.
Yeah, what happened about 2 weeks earlier, so 10 days earlier, He got arrested, and what happened? It was behind in a cell, and Gettner went and talked to him, and Jimmy confessed to all these other fucking things that he's been doing wrong, and Gettner thought, oh fuck. So what Gettner did, he went upstairs, went on his fucking computer to type all this shit that Jimmy's just told him. And so what happened then is this fucking bail, what they call it, a bailiff or someone that.
He was a school teacher.
Yeah, it was a woman supposedly, I don't know, just happened to be there and let him out on bail. And he was fucking spewing. He said, oh, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. So the story goes, that's what, it's all about the bail laws. They changed within 2 days. That was one of the agendas. But anyway, every time Jimmy got arrested, Gettner just happened to be there, And it just so happened, this Jimmy's been chased around for all night, as you saw. He got intercepted 3 times by different cops, drove off every time, and they let him go off every time. Just so happened, 9 a.m. that morning, Gettner started his shift, and all of a sudden, he's the #1 man in pursuit of fucking Jimmy, and it just so happens to be following him into Flinders Street. And 30 minutes before, he starts on a mobile phone that Jimmy's found that night or stolen. Gettner just happens to know that number. Gettner's got 2 cops with him, but Gettner's the driver. Get this, he's the driver. He's texting 2 pages of fucking text, 33 messages. Did you see that? 33.
Yeah, 33.
In between these 33 text messages, he tried to call him 12 times, but Jimmy wouldn't answer because Jimmy, who's driving his car as well, is busy texting as well, like you could do that in fucking city traffic. But anyway, 30 minutes of texting while his 2 cop mates are sitting there scratching their balls while he's driving.
He's fucking texting, dodging fucking people on the footpath, fucking driving, smoking.
Because guys, the reason I asked that question is that on that ABC show, he was a copper in the unmarked car just behind Jimmy's as they were going up Swanson.
Yeah, he said it was either the first or second. He can't remember.
That's him.
Fucking Hyman's on fire.
That's him.
Little smoke coming off Hyman. He's fucking on fire.
What do you got smoking?
I've got that footage.
Give us a look.
10 minutes in, hang on.
Where's Robbo gone?
In the kitchen, probably making a cup of tea.
He's got there.
He got the shits. I told him, shut up.
Shit, wouldn't give him enough airtime.
Hey, guys! Just while smoking's getting that, did my eyes deceive me? But in that ABC show, when they showed the knife in the car seat, wasn't it sort of like fucking pork chops?
Yeah, someone made a comment about that, mate.
Yeah, I did. I made the fucking comment. What's going on there?
No, there was 2.
No, it was a bloke called fucking Scott or something.
Yeah, it wasn't you. No, there was like two.
I can't do it. It's not working.
They look like, I don't know. They someone said they look like meat packs, but they look more like professional blood packs.
Well, I looked at it, mate, and they look like fucking meat packs. That's what it looked like. But what's the point? What? I mean, why do you have that? I mean, you've got to be shitting me, surely.
Meat packs, you reckon? Is that familiar packaging from where you are, or in Europe?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, from fucking Costco. No, Mad Pieman. The reason I say that is, I mean, what's the point?
There's no fucking reason for it, is there? There's no reason.
And Woody,
Yeah.
Woody.
Yeah, mate.
I made another comment on that video too about that guy who was when Jimmy parked along where they're building that sort of house or whatever.
Yeah. The streets of Yarraville or wherever it was.
Yeah. Now he says something, okay, at that mark, and I tell you, that guy was I reckon he's a cop. I reckon he's an absolute what he said.
Who was this?
Yeah, he's meant to be the builder, wasn't he?
Correct. and he said something that only a cop would say.
What was that, mate?
Have you guys seen this fucking bullshit?
What are you showing us?
Fucking hell, Woodrow. Hold on, let me go and find it.
Fucking... I haven't even looked at this whole thing yet.
PK,
Have a lot. If someone come up to you and said the world's going to end tomorrow, would you call Triple O?
there's fucking nothing left, man. There's nothing left. Fuck all left to
Hey,
destroy. PK fucking
you know-
ripped it fucking many new assholes.
You know that builder, Avalon. How he,
Yeah.
he called Triple O, and then they said they dispatched the helicopter. I mean, that would never happen.
I know, but the whole point is with that guy, it's fake as shit, mate. Fake as he was a fucking plant.
What were you going to say? What did he say that convinced you that he was a cop?
Okay, so let me go back. I'm going to go back and I'll give me about 5 minutes, guys, and I'll tell you exactly what he said. Okay.
Yep, no worries. Smoking, you're on.
Do you know Jimmy's background in SA in South Australia in Adelaide?
Cuba. He was a Cuba.
Didn't they say he grew up in Cuba, Pete?
This Four Corners video can be pulled apart. Have you seen? There's new footage in this.
They're all fucking lying, fucking bad memory script reading.
I haven't even seen it yet. I've seen just.
What's he
one
done?
part.
John Boy's fucking gold, mate. I'm going to make a video about that fucking whole piece of shit.
What
John
about
Boy, gel kick or something?
John Boy fucking something.
This is.
It's a joke. Just watch that interview. John Boy. Get to the John Boy bit. Just watch him. Watch him. He forgets his lines. And then he goes, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. He forgot what he had.
Palmer, do you know you can go into church in the city and just fucking walk into the pulpit and just rave on like he did?
Apparently you can. No one will stop you. That's right.
These videos were like 10 years ago or something that he uploaded all this shit, but I'm seeing it in high quality now all of a sudden.
What are you talking about?
I found Jimmy's
Talking about-
YouTube video, YouTube channel that was made 10 years ago.
You talking about the donuts? Smoker?
Oh yeah, it's around the same era when his brother was in that VK Commodore doing burnouts in the mud.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the stab wound that Angelo showed?
Oh,
Yeah. And his lung was going like a pop-off valve. Yeah, right.
And then he says when he woke up, Jimmy was standing next to him, chopping his hair off like a pineapple.
Pineapple.
Like a pineapple. That's what he fucking
When he woke up, I mean, fuck, what? Did he go to sleep?
Gargasoulis entered the
Here you
church,
go.
began to rant from the
I don't know if you can see it. The fuck? Fucking cunt of a thing.
Kind of a thing.
You don't swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
PK hates swearing.
fucking Christian program here, mate.
And who would film him in the church? Honestly, who would film him talking this shit?
Yeah, that's right.
organist.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the guy's playing the fucking organ while he's talking. Can you believe it?
You have fucking 3 people in the fucking church. One of them's got
It's empty.
Really? Really?
Didn't
Middle
I-
of the fucking day, no one's there, and someone's filming the cunt?
Didn't they say the security guard filmed him?
Yeah, right.
But why
The
did he?
security guard would have thrown the cunt out.
Well, yeah. Why did he let him go on for as long as what he did before he said something to him?
Right.
You know, and
Hey,
then all of a
Let's
sudden,
not forget the fact that he did all this because he was a fucking on ice. You know,
Yeah.
like half the other cunts in fucking Melbourne. You don't see them running cunts over.
Yeah, it's all shit. Flying baby videos prove it, mate. Don't worry.
oh, that was some of the-
That was some of the best fucking funniest.
if there were YouTube awards, are there YouTube awards? Or because I reckon some of those videos,
Oh,
mate, should be
man.
nominated.
PK, what you seen in court? Are you there, PK? Your thing's frozen.
Can't hear, Pete.
PK's gone. Where are you, PK?
It's frozen.
I want to know how much
Mr. Freeze got to him.
they blamed it on him being on drugs for this thing to have occurred.
Oh, well, full on, pretty much.
Because do you know how many drug addicts there are in Melbourne?
Well,
Yeah, in Australia.
every second person.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the only case of someone going out and doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to highlight it, mate.
There should be fucking car rammings. There should be fucking
Should be every,
run over next door. Like my neighbour should be run over.
should be every fucking day, mate.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. It's not happening. It's not real.
That's right. It's not real.
It doesn't fucking happen.
You know, most what do you call them? Meth addicts in Melbourne won't leave their fucking lounge rooms, let alone get in a car and be seen and just show up in front of a fucking camera with someone reporting the weather and fucking flipping the bird.
That was good, wasn't it? I love that part. That was awesome.
What are the fucking chances?
I know. What are the fucking chances? I know. Mary Ty, mate, she was everywhere. She fucking got all the scoop, mate.
I've noticed every fucking news story that bitch tells, it's fucking rubbish.
Every
Mate,
fucking time.
They use her. They fucking use her.
That had to be green screen, wasn't
It
it?
was 100%.
Eh?
She turned around with a look like, oh,
Well, she's lit up like a fucking candle. There's at least a fucking two fucking external fucking boom lights on her for sure.
yeah, oh, yeah. She wasn't outside in the fucking rain.
Look, she's
People are morons,
fucking
mate.
good looking, but
People are
what a fucking bitch.
Fucking have a look at this, mate. Fucking Carlton.
Oh, 2 minutes.
Oh, fucking 30 points
No,
down.
that was
Well,
3
30
points.
points down about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry. Bulldogs are up by 3 points.
Bulldogs, yeah. Carlton-
Hey, Woodrow.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. Look, that Schmidt guy on that ABC. He said this is what he said. He said he was talking about Jimmy leaving where he was, and he said this: we had no way of knowing. Now, who says that? If you're not part of that shit.
They had no way of knowing after he was arrested 85 times. He was wanted
No,
for
but this Schmidt guy, when he says, this is supposed to be a builder, and then he says that. Come on.
oh, the fucking builder know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you fucking know shit?
What do you mean by
What
we?
the fuck's he? What's he got to do with shit?
Yeah, he actually said we had no way of knowing.
Wait, who's we?
Almost unquote, right? So
Wait.
so he's not talking to the first person, is he? I mean,
Well,
think
yeah.
about it.
By you saying that it actually made me remember a video that Smokin did. Do you remember that, Smokin? About why people say we?
Yeah.
It's to disassociate
Yeah,
themselves
that's
personally.
Right. That's right.
Correct.
There's,
Correct.
there's legal connotations involved with all the fucking speech that they use as well.
As well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's what it's part of sort of covering up
Yeah,
the lies.
yeah, that's right.
Is by saying
The
instead
media-
of saying
yeah.
I had no way of knowing,
The media
you
do it
say
all the time.
we had no way of
The
knowing.
media do it all the time. Mate.
Robbo
Yeah.
did that video, I think.
Remember that? I remember you made a video about that.
No, Robbo fucking made that. I just did it for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. Robbo was always the
I'm not that fucking smart. Jesus Christ. I'm just,
No, the words they use in news stories, they're used purposefully. You know, they're always covering their ass. You have to listen to what they use in stories. You know?
Smoking.
Here he is. He's back.
There he is.
Hey, this is your show, mate. You just don't leave your show with no
Yeah.
fucking reason.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you at the start, my computer's fucked and it restarted twice. An hour before I started, I said I'll be lucky to get through with that. It doing it and it fucking shit itself once. Just there. What happened? It just do
it never said you left, though. That's surprising. Usually you would have dropped out if your computer restarted.
It's just frozen. Yeah.
Oh, so the chat was still going and all that shit.
Yeah.
Everything was
Yeah. It was PK.
Oh, all right, I'll fuck off and leave you to it then.
it's all good.
Did I miss anything? What was Smoking trying to do? Show something.
Nah, fuck it. Don't worry about it. It's that Four Corners video. Oh, there's so much on there. There's heaps on there. There's a lot of stuff we haven't seen before.
I love the talk on that show about where he dropped the girlfriend off as well.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
what, Baldy Bridge?
Yeah, well,
No, South Melbourne.
they made it seem like he
Yeah.
dropped her off somewhere in South
yeah,
Melbourne,
it wasn't the Baldy
You
Bridge,
know,
was it?
but it was the Balti Bridge that he
No,
dropped her off.
that's the original story.
Yeah, well, that's coming from her mouth, mate.
Yeah,
She did the an age interview
that's right.
where she described how the coppers fucking surrounded the car, guns drawn on the Balti Bridge, and he pushed her out, and somehow he got away.
If it's all bullshit, the details don't matter, all right?
They can change the story because no one gives a fuck or knows anyway. So who cares?
That's right.
Looks like Carlton lost again. Haha.
Looks like it.
Useless. Come on.
It's over.
3
It's over.
points,
3
mate.
fucking points. Kick ball! There it is.
That's all right.
Hey, PK, I'm really sad about that one, mate.
Shit, only 3 points. They must have kicked. Fucking hell, they kicked 5 goals in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, 30 points 10 minutes ago.
Was anyone reading the chat earlier when Bipolar there was talking about ringing the NZ hospital?
I haven't seen any chat.
No, I haven't had it on.
Oh, I don't anyway. Yeah, here I am.
Yeah, haven't had the YouTube
Sorry.
on. Only got the
Haven't seen
Hangouts on.
Haven't seen it. I'll watch it back later and yeah, I'll talk on you later.
Yeah. All questions will be answered later.
Yeah, we'll get on to it.
I got an email warning me about that fucking idiot is like a bad smell, Archimedean eye.
Oh, fuck, don't worry about him. Guess what, though? Jeff O'Toole was in the fucking chat earlier.
Good
Oh.
joke.
Jeff O'Fool from We Are Shit Melbourne.
So we know what
From Melbourne, yeah.
His name's Scott. Scott, no friends.
Scott, no.
I reckon if he puts this video up, if he's taped this video and puts it up, you know, with the title
We weren't even talking about the fucking.
PK podcast,
We weren't even talking about
he'll
it.
get 1,000 views
Yeah.
and he might even get $150 in donation.
Yeah. Fuck, if he gets another 100, he can retire. Fuck. Won't have to work ever again.
Fucking hell, he's
What a clown.
Vinny
You know
O'Toole.
what? It's fucking cringeworthy watching that cunt fucking present anything on the computer. I'll watch some of the shit he puts out. It's cringeworthy. It's fucking.
Oh, that's what I
No,
told
it's,
him,
no,
mate.
it's not, no. He did do good shit before, and he's an activist, mate. You know what the problem is? It's him.
Yeah, it's him.
He's the fucking problem. He wants to be fucking something that he'll never fucking be, mate. That's the problem. He wants to be fucking, you know, a news.
Only thing I can think of, like, in his defense, the only thing I can think of, you know how he's trying to take that brand, that what do you call it, brand of that We Are Change bullshit.
Oh, fucking why would
He's obviously been told to, I don't know, he's been given instructions and something. That's the only defense I can give the cunt.
As
Last time I met him, he was all, you know, he
As I
did
told
very
Pete-
strict bullshit.
Logan,
Right?
Logan, as I told Pete, the actual fucking time when Jeff first introduced himself to PK,
Yeah.
I was fucking standing in front of him when he told him who he was after he'd fucking followed him around the pub for like 10 minutes with his fucking weird father.
His
Like,
dad. Yeah, I was going to say that.
"All right, mate."
How bizarre is that, though?
And he told you who you were, and you fucking tilted your head and you fucking scrunched your face up and you looked at me like, who the fuck is this dickhead? Never forget it.
First impressions,
We are Change Melbourne.
first impressions, mate.
He's going to change a lot of fucking people with a fucking 100 subs. Good on you. Well done, mate. You fuckhead.
I don't think I looked at his channel for a year after that.
Yeah.
Look, I have to go. Fucking hell.
Robbo shit himself and went, did he?
Couldn't get a word in.
Yeah, I think that's why he's upset. He's upset.
We love you, Robbo.
We've fucking done well blocking you out, Robbo. It was a task considered impossible, but we did it.
Hey, you know, deep inside the rabbit hole, I shouldn't mention his name, but I asked him to mirror my little video about the podcast. You know what he said? No way. I'll get a strike on it. I thought, fucking what?
He's had his channel for years, though.
That's the thing. Everyone's shit scared to put up anything that remotely mentions New Zealand Christchurch.
He's flat earth only now, mate. That's
You know what he said? I bet you they'll cut you off halfway through the show.
you won't touch anything except for flat earth now, mate. That's it.
Yeah, they love spinning that around, don't they?
Someone said to me, why have you got your fucking video on a flat earth fucking website? I said, oh, get fucked, will you?
The system loves flat Earth.
I couldn't give a fuck what he's got on there. You got to put it somewhere where it's going to not be taken down, you know?
I don't think he cares anymore, mate. I think he's out of the loop. That's what I think.
We're fucked, mate. YouTube is fucked. Remember the glory days 5 years ago?
Yeah.
We had podcasts every day. We had
What flat Earth video? Like what flat Earth channels have ever been striked out and taken down?
Oh no, they're taking them down here, mate. They're fucking them up now. They are.
Are
Not the big ones. I'm sure the fucking big protected ones that are part of the system aren't going to be taken down.
Oh yeah.
They might pretend to be taken down, but the smaller ones are. The ones who really fucking care about, truth,
Well, look, don't forget India is going to the moon and they're putting a rover on it. So
Yeah.
I'm going back.
Yeah,
I'm going to the moon.
a couple of papadams, mate.
Everyone's going to the moon.
Was it on TV? Must be real.
Didn't they announce last week how much it's going to cost? They're going to have, passenger flights to the moon.
Yeah.
How much?
$50,000.
82 million.
82 million bucks for is that return or just one way?
One way. You can't come back. You fucking
Hey, they'll take your money and you'll disappear.
Is that first class, by the way?
You're going to get one class to the moon.
Yeah,
But only 3 people per year, apparently, or something like
You're
that.
not going to believe this. I've just heard something. The AFL want to play a game on the moon. Bill McLaughlin said that they're hoping to do it by next year.
I'll
Carlton
get it.
gets anyone that wants to play them.
The moon round. The moon round.
All they're going to have a one full forward and one full back for each side. Because when you
Will it be? Hey, PK, will it be under lights, mate?
There are plenty of stars, mate. You don't need lights on the moon.
We're going to have like a live stream of Earth from the moon. That'd be fucking cool if they're up there with rovers and shit. Give us a live stream of what Earth looks like from the moon.
if they have it on the dark side of the moon, they'll need to light it
They'll need
up.
lights on the
They'll
dark
need
side.
lights there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they'll get Pink Floyd to play before at half time. Hey, Avalon, do you follow the AFL?
I sure do, mate. Adelaide Crows. Yes.
What do you reckon
No.
about 6-6?
No, not Adelaide Crows.
What do you reckon about 666? How good's that?
Oh, look, I mean, at the beginning, it was controversial. Look, I mean, I do think it kind of opens up the game a bit.
Hey, don't go into all that. The 666.
It's in your face.
Don't worry about that.
Sorry, PK. I didn't know that you were going through the numerology part of it.
Hey, Avalon, did you hear last week a Carlton supporter got kicked out of the ground by security because he called an umpire a bald-headed flog?
Really?
Yeah, got fucking kicked out of the ground for saying that.
But the better one was a Collingwood supporter had the police come up to him and told him he was supporting too loud to quieten down.
Hey, Woodrow, are you sure he didn't get taken out because he was a Carlton supporter?
You won't even let you in, Pete. You'd be fucked.
And someone, I think
Someone never let me into a game when I used to go every week. Oh my God, fucking
I used
hell.
to abuse the fuck out of the maggots.
didn't someone else got kicked out for calling one of the umpires a green maggot?
Maggots.
He got 3 weeks suspension by his cheer squad. He was part of the Richmond cheer squad. But apparently the president, Gil McLaughlin, ordered the cheer squad to give him a 3-week suspension.
Ordered them to. That's all right. We're fucking turning into China. What the fuck is this?
And Joffa, the Collingwood cheer squad leader, he's sort of wants a petition. He wants everyone to boycott fucking a game or something.
Joffa refuses to play a game or something until he receives an apology or something.
Who offended Joffa? Whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was on the Neil Mitchell show yesterday. Joffa spoke to that idiot Mitchell on Thursday, and they were going to get Gil McLaughlin, who normally does his show on Friday with Neil Mitchell, the fucking piece of shit. And they were going to get Joffa on. I don't know what happened.
All right.
He wanted an apology for what's fucking this shit. You can't say anything at a footy game.
Right. Yeah, they won't even.
I'll tell you what, guys. It's becoming the nanny game. That's what it's becoming.
Well, we were talking.
Change rules every year.
Me and Woody were talking about this before because he was saying. Then I was agreeing with what he was saying. We used to go to the football. You had a hard week at work You know, you go to the football, you can fucking get all the fucking shit out. You know what I mean? You can fucking let it out,
Yeah.
abuse the umpires, abuse the opposition. You know, there was no problem.
And now you get,
You can't even touch the bastards.
Yeah.
oh, mate.
No, but you know, Avalon, you know, if you're an AFL supporter, you know what we're talking about. There used to be friendly banter between supporters of of opposition clubs. You know, no one. Would, you'd have the rare occurrence when people wanted to punch the fuck out of each other, but it wasn't a common occurrence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was actually a couple of weeks ago. I was going back and having a look at some of the AFL in the 70s and the 80s, mate. I mean, it was full on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. You could fucking break someone's jaw and fucking, get a 15-metre penalty before.
But you watch it last night, guys, Essendon and Hawthorn at half time, a bit of a push and a shove, and the commentators are going, oh, look at this, it's all on,
Oh.
But they know no one's going to throw any punches because you can't. So what happened? Little fucking Puopolo, a little Hawthorn midget, he goes up to the big ruckman who was doing the pushing, and he big notes himself trying to push the big guy because he knows full well he's not going to come back at him. So he makes him out to be a fucking big hero.
Can you imagine some little cunt going up to Carl Dittrich and doing that to him?
Carl,
No?
he was the Terminator. Fucking look out.
I tell you what, guy, what we need is we need more Barry Halls, mate. That's what we need in the game.
Hey, Barry Hall's playing in a game in a couple of weeks where me daughter's boyfriend's playing in. It's a charity game for cancer. Greg Williams, Ange Christou, Brereton, yeah, Koutafidis, quite a few of them. But yeah, Barry Hall's going to be playing.
Well, he doesn't commentate anymore. He got the ass for what did he do last year? He said something and they kicked him off.
Well, PK, he really has a real struggle trying to articulate a couple of words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. He's a dumb fuck, but...
well, I was going to say that, PK, but I thought I'd let you say it.
Wait, PK.
Tell us what you mean, mate.
Sure. What about Mel Brown? Remember when Mel Brown in the...
we're just talking about, he's already knocked out like 5 blokes in 3 seconds.
Carlton players just went whack, whack, whack.
Bang, fuck off, bang.
Trevor
Keogh, fuck.
He lost his teeth. I think he lost his teeth.
Like,
hey, what about the old days like Phil Carman when you headbutted the fucking umpire?
Oh, Phil Carman, he was a fucking psycho, mate.
Now I'll tell you, the best thing I've ever seen was Robbie Muir.
No, Robbie Muir.
And he got a Carlton player called Collins. And it was like
a whip backhand.
Yeah, it was a whip backhander, mate. He's sort of just walking away from him as Collins came up and tapped him on the head. And Robbie Muir just sort of, as he's turning around, threw this backhander.
And him in the door, knocked your cunt out.
Just fucking virtually killed him.
Yeah, the good old days. I love the good old days.
Hey, what was that, Smoker?
All right, guys, we're not going to talk football the rest of the night. Fuck it.
What time is it?
PK, who's Gemma Bayliss?
Where's she?
She was in the chat earlier.
Oh, what was she saying?
Captain Underpants just wanted to mention that in the chat.
Gemma, she softened us up with fucking snacks.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me. I'm fucking off.
She's the plant, mate. She's the plant that. Remember.
We just won't fucking win me, mate. You got to try harder than that.
That night, I got pretty pissed with Aaron. That night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gemma Bayliss was one of the first ones there. She
was about 30-something.
Hey?
35.
She's a real estate agent, isn't she?
Yeah, I remember her. She was dressed up, looking good.
Remember,
she was a plant, mate. She's a plant. She works.
Really?
She gave Lou the fucking. Yeah, I was going to say the C word. All the info about Woodrow said that we were going to kidnap Robbie Doyle and him and all this. She passed that on to fucking Lou, and he tweeted that to all his mates.
She also backed up the shopping trolley fucking theory as well.
Yeah, she said trolleys are in the city. Show me a trolley in the city.
There used to be one down Burke Street, mate.
Right at that time, yeah.
One,
yeah, that's it.
Homeless
I'm
people are allowed to have trolleys in the city.
Yeah.
That's enough. See you later.
Oh, it's
Thanks,
Logan.
Logan.
See you, bud.
Cheers.
Cheers,
All right.
Smoking. Good to hear you, mate.
All right, guys, I'm closing.
All right,
bud.
I want to read this chat where this Gemma Bayless fucking shit is. Where is it?
We'll probably better find it.
yeah, we need to. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Anyway, PK, look, thanks very much, mate, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
No, and thanks for mirroring, that video.
Thanks, Avalon.
Not a problem, mate. My pleasure.
Did you change the links though? Because I deleted my archive.com on mine. I got someone else to put on because I don't want anything to do with it.
Well, let me put it this way. I took off the original promo, and then I redid another one that had the 2 links in it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Stop, Look, Think, and there's another archive.com, which has got the actual 2 together in one video, which is good.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I got, mate.
And you can download from archive.com, which is good.
Yeah, and I also mentioned that as well because apparently when Robbo got to me, he said, "PK said put that in," so I did.
Anyway, I had nothing to do with it. There's no proof because I haven't uploaded any videos, so you got to prove it was me. Someone's impersonating my voice. It was well done. Whoever did it. So yeah.
Before everyone pisses off, I just want to put it on the record so everybody can know. Anybody in the chat, anybody who's listening, I just want them to know. But this man here, PK, he's the reason. He's my inspiration to get involved in this shit and open my eyes to a lot of fucking things. And I couldn't get onto fucking YouTube I got on YouTube, but I couldn't fucking start a channel for a long time. And the weird thing is, I used to fucking, I used to imagine that I could be talking to him, on a podcast. The funny thing is, I got to know him beforehand, and I've talked to him personally, and I'll talk to him on the phone. So that's probably better. But yeah, it's eventually happened. So yeah, cheers, Pete. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, PK, you still there, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, just want to say on the back of that too, mate, it was you that actually got me started as well. And a couple of years ago, and all with the PK Boston videos, mate. So yeah, thanks very much for that. And the rest is history, as they say.
Alex Jones died a fucking long, slow death, mate. Once I saw that.
All right, since we're all blowing window, PK's ass.
The hat trick. They need a hat trick.
I'll say too, right? The first time I got in contact with PK, I sent him some info about, I think it was the Copenhagen truck thing that happened there, and he did a video on it. But then I sent him some other info on something else, and he didn't do a video on it. So I thought, oh, fuck him, I'll start doing videos myself. So yeah, thanks, PK.
All right, it's all my fault. Sorry. Sorry to get you guys involved. Didn't mean it. And anyone else out there? Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. And you're good guys. And there are rats out there, as you know, and you got to be careful. You can't trust anyone.
The rats eventually go for the cheese, mate.
That's right.
And the cheese is about $200.
$200 there. It's cheap cheese.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking just before, actually? People say, me, you, other guys, whatever. They get on YouTube. Oh, yeah, they just want to make money, get views and all this shit. I was thinking, well, fuck me, Why didn't I get on and start making videos saying all these events are real? Because that way...
Oh, you could have been retired by now, mate.
You'd be loaded, mate.
You'd be loaded.
99.9% of people would fucking believe me and follow me.
Yeah,
Here I am trying to convince 0.001% of the population. How fucking stupid am I?
Oh, mate.
That's what Shields do, mate.
Well,
that's where the money is.
How many followers did you have, like, the most amount, like, subscribers? Was it about 18, 19,000?
Nearly 20, wasn't it?
22,000.
Well, imagine if you were, a rat, and you sort of just asked for a donation of, say, $1 every 6 months. from your 20,000 subscribers. You know,
Sweet.
it's 40,000 bucks a year for fucking fuck all. But you didn't do that sort of shit, mate. Whereas others have.
You know, I see videos that, you know, the last minute of it is, oh, if you like this video, can thumbs it up and subscribe. And if you want to donate, go to here or here or here. Not once in any of my 2,000 odd videos did I ever mention once about donating or subscribing to my channel. Never a word in any of my videos. I put a download link in my main description because I had about half a dozen people asking to donate money, and I kept saying no. I said, oh, fuck it, I just put this link in there. Someone, I don't know who it was, that fucking had the same thing. I think it was the postal service, the piece of shit that fucking called me out to be a Jew and fucking all that shit.
The dirty cunt who fucking tried to fuck you over.
Oh, yeah, I made a video about a month ago. I haven't had a job in my acting bullshit fucking extras work for 2 years, you know? And that a month ago, I put a video. They wanted someone to, they're making a movie here in Melbourne called Preacher. I don't know what it's about, but there was this fucking scene in a synagogue, and they wanted people, extras, to be dressed up in the Greek, the Jewish Orthodox. Yeah.
Oh, they were setting you up, mate.
Because, you know, you get an email from the guy who runs it, and you either click the yes or no, or accept or reject. And I said, I made my video, and I said, yeah, I'll accept this. You know, it's a job's a job. Fuck it. You know, I haven't had a job for 2 years. I didn't get it. I got knocked back. Obviously, you know, I don't know.
You don't look Jewish enough.
I would have made a video and fucking, oh, they would have all jumped on me. Oh, there he is. Look at him dressed up as a fucking Orthodox Jew. Fucking.
You still got a foreskin. You can't do the job.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was part of the audition too. Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah.
They must have knocked back Jeff O'Fool as well.
No, he was getting a lot of jobs apparently with the same agency I went through. He got 2 jobs within fucking days. With, you know, when I was at court with him, 2 days, 2 jobs in 2 days.
Yeah.
I've been with him for 10 years, and I haven't had a job for 2 fucking years. Not that I give a fuck, but Neighbours, you know that shit show Neighbours.
Yeah.
You know, every man in the dog goes there because fucking, you know, it's been going for fucking years. I even got knocked back for that. It was for today, yeah. I got knocked back for fucking Neighbours.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to do this shit because it's fucking a million miles away, none of one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I said, oh, fuck it, yeah, I'll do it. Knocked back by, I said, fuck it, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's cost me $100 a year for being a member of this fucking agency.
Just been in it, yeah.
I don't even earn $100 a year.
Well, there's a tax write-off.
Anyway, all right.
Woodrow just went for a piss. She'll be back in a minute.
Is this chat still going? Who's there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm still here, mate.
Here. Wait.
What's the weather like there? Australia's playing Sri Lanka. They're kicking ass as expected. Why would you have the World Cup in fucking England? It rains every fucking day. Honestly.
Mate, it rains every fucking day here in Scotland.
Well, same shit. You're both the same, mate.
Yeah, well, it's the current temperature here, mate. It's partly cloudy here and it's 15 degrees C, mate. There you go.
Wow, it's 15 here and it's fucking freezing. How do you handle it?
Okay. That's okay.
Before I go, anyone that's in chat, sorry I haven't replied to anything. I haven't, bothered looking in there, but I will later and read your comments, whatever. But yeah, how many thumbs up and thumbs down? Can you
30 up, mate, and 1 down.
Because when I came back, it shows 0 and 0. Right?
Jeff was here.
Jeff, thumb down.
Yeah, Jeff.
Come on, Jeff.
Stop that, Jeff.
Get over yourself, Jeff.
Just because you're a public figure doesn't mean you have to thumb our video down.
The good thing about only having 333 subs on my channel now is the trolls don't fucking bother me. Fucking hell. I don't know.
Compliment, mate. The more troll thumbs down you get, it's more of a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Yeah. Oh, what about Terrible Tim? Oh, he wanted to get on, but he I don't know.
I'd love to talk to him,
Oh,
mate. He's
yeah.
a gun, mate. I love to.
Yeah.
He apparently made a comment on Ratsnecki
Yeah,
on PK Truth, the Ratsnecki channel.
the fake PK, yeah.
He made a comment last week. I don't know what, in one of his fucking bullshit videos that just garbage.
Hmm.
Because he actually thought that was me.
Oh,
Really?
fair dinkum.
Are you kidding?
Terrible Tim thought that fucking idiot was me, like 1,000 other idiots that have subscribed to him.
Tim. What
Tim.
the fuck, Tim?
Do an apology song, Tim.
you, better
Oh,
you better make a song about that. Terrible Tim, terrible Tim.
I fucked up. I fucked up.
I had to finish my 12-hour video with him at the end. I thought,
No, that was good, mate. No, that was gold. That was that was perfection.
he's a good man. He's a good man. All right, guys.
All right, PK.
But
Okay, PK, thanks again, mate.
So Avalon, we have another one. We'll get you on as well. And if you speak to Robbo in Discord, whatever.
Tell him not to be too upset. You know, he didn't get much time.
yeah,
But yeah, we'll try and make up next time.
No, I was not joking about the Russian bid.
We'll give him 5 minutes unchallenged.
I mean, the Russian vids talked for 1 hour straight, so he didn't even get close to Russian vids.
Oh, yeah,
Poor Robbo. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, look, I'll tell you something. He's become a really good friend, and he's a great guy, Robbo. We speak almost daily. Yeah.
We love him. We just
Yeah.
love to give him shit too. That's
Nothing but love for Robbo, mate.
we love him.
Yeah, well, I said you can't trust people, but there's an exception.
No, you know what, PK, you're spot on, buddy.
Yeah.
No, he's good. He's gold, mate.
He's, if I was to use one word to describe Robbo, it would be thorough.
Yeah, thorough. Thorough is the word.
Thorough.
Thorough is the word.
Yeah, he's got good eyes, hasn't he? He's fucking,
He's a fucking
And that's why Max Egan cracked the shits with him.
Yeah. Too many questions, and I don't have any fucking answers.
Yeah.
PK, he's got a good one eye.
no, that's how I see the world. Oh shit! I still can't work out what happened to him. He just gave me the ass. Never said anything. We did a podcast with Russian vids. That's the last I heard from him.
I'll tell you.
I thought I'd be his friend for life.
I'll tell you something, Pete. He's still got 100% respect for you. I think he just wanted to get out, mate. He didn't want to be involved anymore.
Yeah, but we used to talk on Skype all the time. But he doesn't even talk to me.
What I want to tell you is, he still talks about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still talks about you. He doesn't name you, but he talks about you in his videos.
I thought he actually bagged me.
No, he doesn't bag you. No. He was upset that you didn't understand your rights when the police came to arrest you.
Oh fuck, mate! I didn't have time to think. I got the malaria, all that.
Yeah, I don't think he took that into account. But
Yeah,
he was upset that you didn't understand that you had rights.
I can understand the way he's feeling or he felt because I sort of felt the same way at the time.
But yeah, he wasn't taking into account Pete's circumstances.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was looking
yeah.
after his mother and she was dying.
Yeah, exactly. There's,
I've never been arrested in my life, mate. It's a fucking weird feeling having cunts fucking. Oh shit! I said the word.
No,
Knocking the door in. I didn't know what to do. Plus, I don't want to go on about it.
no, you had too many things to worry about. You couldn't have fucking dealt with it.
no, well, fucking that's all over anyway, mate.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't matter.
yeah,
But I think
you
it
can,
wasn't so
you can
much.
stand to Mrs. Harkham in the supermarket and not get arrested now.
Look, I meant to show you guys. I meant to bring it to the pub. The actual documents from they gave me from the cops when I got arrested.
You showed me, mate. I've done.
Because it doesn't actually mention her address.
Yeah.
They state her address as being.
Didn't you do a video when it first fucking happened on
Yeah,
that?
you
When
made
you
a
showed
video.
the address was it North Melbourne Police Station? Or
Did I do that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah,
you might have taken it down when they
Yeah, you
fucking
did, you
put
did.
fear of God into you or whatever.
Well, they probably took it to it.
Or they took it there. Who knows?
Oh yeah, people were saying it was fake. What I was showing, it was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, it wasn't only her that I had the intervention on. It was fucking the screamer, the daughter.
Oh, Income.
So what? Why has she got anything to do with anything?
If she wasn't involved at all, you didn't ring up to speak to her or.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I said at the start of this show. If I had my time again, fucking hell, there's no way known I would have just fucking gone to court and said, yeah, that was it. Get it out the way.
You know, one thing I've always been meaning to ask you about all that was, did you do that because of that guy who rang up the hospital after the Pulse nightclub? And
That was how I see the world.
Yeah, he rang up the hospital, didn't he, and spoke to.
Yeah, I got the from him. Idea from him.
So that's where you got the idea from. To do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, so
I did.
right.
No, I
Yeah,
did. I did too.
fucking oath. It's a good way to, either talk to the person or
It's not.
reveal whether they're really
But
there.
it wasn't like that was the first time that he made phone calls and reported it.
Yeah, exactly.
He done it before.
Yeah,
Cancer Council. And
That
fucking,
video on its own just showed how
And,
much of a fucking hoax the
you,
whole thing was.
yeah, I know. But you've made phone calls before and recorded it too.
yeah, but this was different. The way I ended up this one was what fucked me up. In the last few seconds, when she told me she was going to hang up on me,
You gave it to her.
I said, "Oh, this is a fraud." I know. Fraud.
That was the problem. Yeah.
That was the problem. That was the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus the video I did on the funeral, the Jewish.
I wouldn't have. If I got to that fucking stage, I wouldn't have fucking held back either, mate. I would have given it to her too.
Oh, I would have been giving it to
You
her
couldn't-
sooner than
Yeah,
that.
no,
mate,
I
tell
couldn't
ya.
believe the restraint myself. Really, I couldn't believe the restraint because you fucking you played the part of someone who was affected and involved and connected to the family member. You know what I mean? You did it perfectly.
As far as what they knew, you were genuinely
It sounded,
concerned
it
about her
sounded like
welfare.
a legitimate person
But they played everything to avoid.
because they knew the phone call was coming. Right?
Well, it was only the question was
It was
when are
like-
visiting hours.
no,
That's what the question was.
I actually took it as the fucking they knew the phone call was going to be coming.
I know. And she said she blocked. She had all phone calls blocked. Why would you block calls?
That's right.
Yeah.
Why can't you tell me the fucking visiting hours?
What if
I can't tell you the visiting hours. Do you give me? Why can't you? Tell me the visiting hours?
And the best thing, guys,
That's pre-prepared, mate.
in the trial, they said she was in hospital for 1 month. Then the next day she said she was in hospital for 2 months. And yet, clearly, when I called, she was out of hospital in 10 days. Sorry,
Yeah.
in a coma supposedly for 5 days with critical injuries.
Yeah.
5 days later, she's in rehab.
It's a miracle.
Rehab, and you fucking come out of a coma
It's a miracle.
and critical, whatever critical injuries are.
One little bullshit fucking scratch on her leg.
You know, so they can make up any bullshit. Fucking 1 month in hospital.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, all right, guys.
All right, PK. Thanks for tonight, mate.
No worries.
Yeah.
Did well.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thank you again.
All right, Avalon. Take care.
Yeah, we'll catch
You too, mate.
See you, Avalon.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
Adios, amigos.
Hey, Mad